Exit here for all A gates. Please, watch your step.
Mic check, everybody. How you doing on this fine Friday? Pleasure to have you here. Should be a nice chill stream today. Should be a nice chill show with everybody. Nice Fallen State episode. That was fun. Mic check. Fallen State was fun. Glad to have you all here. I'm the American Anchor, baby. We're going to get into a little bit of this, a little bit of that. Some of the things on my mind. You know, affordability. Call it boring, but some of this is for me. Some of this is informative for me. So for those who are very well informed on this, okay, don't cringe. Okay, it's not dry. Affordability, the Affordable Care Act, groceries. You know, I got some. I think we got a take on it, sort of. You know, just a little handle about what's going on, because everybody's going nuts right now. And of course, a number of other things. We'll get into calls and all that. 844-900-2229. We'll be right with you.
Ladies and gentlemen, be care to set timers on your phones today. Keep track of flight time. Once we are airborne, flight time is scheduled for 1 hour and 58 minutes. And in preparation for departure, please ensure that your carry-on items are stowed underneath your seat. Strut seats and tray tables are upright. Your portable electronic devices should be held or secured in a pocket, seat pocket, or carry-on for takeoff, please.
Amazing. I think we're pretty much ready to go.
Isn't he a Mexican?
Colombian.
He calls himself American.
And in this corner, it's the American Anchor Baby.
Daddy's home.
That's an offensive term. People find that hurtful.
You mean it's not politically correct? Excuse me. I'll use the word anchor baby. You know, he's an anchor baby in Canada.
Tell him we still rolling with Trump, too.
Anchor baby, the whole thing sounds horrific. You're just making it sound like immigrants are these horrific, greedy people.
Ustedes pueden aceptar mi negocio o aceptar las consecuencias. Plata o plomo.
So you would be considered white, in my opinion.
You the blackest one in this room.
I think so.
And what happened was his mama got pregnant on the other side of the border, and then a few hours before, just before it was time for him to pop out, she jumped across the border and let him fall on America's soil. So he became the anchor baby. You don't call him the anchor baby for nothing. Amazing.
We like this anchor baby, right?
Hello, I'm the American Anchor Baby. It's nice to have you here on this fine Friday. A pleasure, as always. We'll be opening up the lines here in a moment. To let all of our lovely callers call in, I'm welcoming my lovely viewers on rumble.com/American Anchor Baby, punchy.tv/Anchor Baby, and of course all my viewers here on YouTube. Appreciate y'all being here. The lines are open, 844-900-2229.
As the host. Welcome, host. You are now in the host room and...
Amazing. So I appreciate it. Thanks for coming in here. It's a pleasure as always on this fine, fine Friday. Let me just say hello. Welcome to all the folks. Hold on. Here we go. Boom. What the? Happy Friday. All right. So now that that's all done, and we got the lines open, we got 844-900-2229. What can I say? We're back at it again. Hold up. What can I say? We're back at it again. So nice to have you back. We'll get to all my supporters and everybody, all my super chats. Thank you for that. Buymeacoffee.com/anchorbaby. And the Rumble rants that I missed. I appreciate Hake, those paying attention. What a mess. But we'll get to everybody. Of course, all super chatters, all donors and super chatters are ballers today. The Ballers Lounge is in fact open. And the flight attendants, the lovely flight attendants, are of course coming down with the drinkies and snackies. So if you are a baller, make sure you get down here. We'll be welcoming those, of course, first class super chatters, first class seats. Amazing. So that was a nice Fallen State. Time to kick it off here a little bit. You know, I do have a couple things on my mind. News-wise, etc. It's the things I put together here that I must say I thought were thematic. What's the word? What's the word? Chat, what's the word? Not thematic, but topical. That's the word. Topical. Because it's like, what? How are we going to afford anything? Some are saying. Thank you, Karmic Binding. Thank you, Chris. We got super chatters coming in with the Ballers Lounge. Make sure you welcome all ballers. Make sure you make room for the ballers. Get out of the way. You're like waiting for the bathroom. Don't you see the ballers are coming through? They're making their way to their first class seats. Make sure you're sitting there. Stretch your legs. Park your rear in these seats. We appreciate the ballers. Karmic Binding says, light me up. A light skinny boy. How about that? I don't know what that means, flight attendants, but help the man out. Chris says 1 for the Ballers Lounge, please. Harmony coming in strong. 1 ticket for the Ballers Lounge, please. Knit, did you go to Men's Forum last night? Of course. We were at the Men's Forum last night, and I'm time dilated. Has an hour passed? Has 10 hours passed? I don't know. But we're off. We're definitely off on the energy from God and the energy from Men's Forum. Electrifying. So thank you, Harmony, and C-Sal, who won't be left behind, coming in and purchasing her first class ticket. So I appreciate all first class super chatters coming in strong. Make sure you sit in the Ballers Lounge. Remember, it's either baller or not. Okay. You know what that means. No either Jew nor Gentile, no man nor woman. Either you're balling or you're not. And we have ballers here. So thank you for that. All the supporters. Chris, Karmic, Harmony, C-Sal, get down here. We got. Might as well do these. C-Bill, make sure you're sitting here too. C-Bill, someone remains anonymous. Put it on the mask. Make sure you're sitting in the Ballers Lounge. Please make your way down. Unlimited drinkies and snackies in the Ballers Lounge. Well, that's awesome. Thank you so much for the support. So how do we kick this off? Here's a couple of the things that were on my mind. Now, let me see how we do this. Okay. SNAP benefits. The government is shutting down. The government is shut down. They're telling you the Democrats are keeping it shut down so they can give health care to illegals. The Democrats are like, no, we care about the people and making sure they can afford health care. We can't keep them off. You're maybe wondering what exactly is going on. But you're seeing the videos. They're out there. They're like, I want my SNAP. I can't afford it otherwise. I need a living wage. I can't afford groceries. People are like, I can't afford groceries. People are like, my health care's insurance costs are going up like crazy. It's like, what am I gonna do? Who's gonna fix this? When? Some are like thankful that Mamdani's here. They're like, finally someone who will bring down the cost of grocery, make daycare free, cares about the worker, the people, not these fat oligarchs, these rich oligarchs. So they got that messaging over there, like the oligarchs, they're just evil. We gotta take down. Why? If you're a billionaire, you're evil. If you have money, you're evil. You're probably using it against people. That's their solution and their thinking. It's sometimes no wonder young people are like, well, something's got to happen now. What do you have to offer? You're like, okay, it's like, so we got to subsidize it and take it from the rich, eat from the rich. And then it's like the impression and possibly even, the truth, the fact of not much help from the other side, okay? Possibly. So I'm thinking about these things. That's kind of the hot topic. The video's going around. And I come across this little clip. This is a senator. Democrat Senator Peter Welch. Not someone I know. Not someone I know. But he's over there representing Vermont. Okay? Peter Welch. Okay. Y'all know him? Is this your man's? Peter Welch in a video going around viral is
cost to help
is this is the only clip I've seen, by the way. I tried to find exactly where he was. But it's clear that he's responding to questions concerning the government shutdown. And he tells, in this clip, he's going to tell people, He's basically answering a question about why they are requesting an extension on these tax credits, okay, that were put in place and were meant to expire. They were put in place during COVID. More information on that in a moment. And so he's answering a question on that. And he's basically telling people, why are we holding out, essentially, the government shutdown? Why is this happening?
I owe you an answer on why it is I'm standing here today asking to extend something that was temporary. And here's the reason. We did fail to bring down the cost of health care.
Now, again, I was trying to find a longer thing there, but this is enough for what I want to say here. He's responding to
you an answer.
I owe you an answer.
I'm standing here today asking to extend something that was temporary.
Asking to extend something that was temporary. What is this temporary extended thing? Okay, it comes down to it goes back to the ACA stuff. Obamacare, the Affordable Care Act. So some of this might be old news, but I mean some of this is for me, my own understanding. So I appreciate the patience. Look, we almost kind of have to go back to why the Affordable Care Act was even brought about, what it was meant to fix, what it was meant to deal with. Okay? But quickly here, just dealing with Peter Welch here. He's telling you, I'm here before you to tell you why we need an extension on this. That's what they're fighting for. They're fighting for these extensions which are set to expire. Not like there's other things going on, right? There's a big, beautiful bill and all that. There was some changes to healthcare and stuff like that. But he's talking about these tax credits. Now, these tax credits were put in place by Biden, okay, essentially. 2021, right? Biden, COVID stuff. And it allows more people to get on it, and it allowed them to get more money, okay? Basically. And so that's what they're fighting for, right? Like, we can't get rid of it. But he also admits something. Why are we fighting for it? We can't get rid of these tax credits, which we knew were set to expire. Now, for me, right, taking this in as someone maybe initially ignorant, taking in questions from people I respect that were good, like Nick, why isn't gas? Why aren't gas prices down? Why aren't grocery prices down? And why is my dad's healthcare gone up? So, in the spirit of like, really, sincerely taking that in, the part where I come in of understanding, he's like, these tax credits essentially were set to expire, right? But they are a crutch to keep the thing going. Now wait, let me not get lost here.
And here's the reason. We did fail.
Right. Now the whole plan was to bring the cost of healthcare down. That's the whole point of this Affordable Care Act. So I'm going back and I'm like listening to Obama and what the point was. 2010, they come down with this Obamacare because they said there were too many uninsured Americans. Like 40 to 50 million Americans were uninsured, and that's just wrong. They said insurance companies were denying coverage to sick people. Like if they had like diabetes or some sort of cancer history, they would get refused. This is what I heard. They got refused coverage or really expensive. And essentially rising healthcare costs all around. So Obama's like, I'm going to fix this. He's going to fix it, right? He came in with this reform. Time to fix it. So coming now later, 2025. Okay, sorry. I'm getting ahead of myself. Because I wasn't there. Okay? But essentially, what has happened since, what are the effects of Obamacare? I mean, these are the things that people say. They say this, they say this like out loud, right? They say their premiums and their deductibles rose for many middle-income people. But the Democrats say it's a win because so many more people got insured. Look at all these people that we're saving, we're helping. Right? So the successes are what? The uninsured rate dropped to record lows. I mean, that's just according to some articles I read. To 8% by 2016. But the people, the middle income people, everybody else, they had to pay more. So it depends on how you look at it, right? You come at it, you're like, wow, that's a success. Look at all these people who needed help that got it. Or you see it for what it really is. This is how I see it. I mean, they're telling you we need to bring down health insurance costs for people. It's just the right thing to do, and we got to help these people. They bill it however it was billed. The way it ended up is the people who make money, have jobs, have to subsidize for those who don't or won't. Tell me if I'm wrong. 844-900-2229. So it's been just a big ACA, right? It's been just a big subsidy. Some of you are like, duh. And he's telling you that they failed in what they wanted to do, bring the healthcare costs. So it's been it's been proven to be just like a movement of wealth from those who have to those who don't have. And that might even be how do I put this? Like, is there a place for that? Maybe, but it's not possible because check this out. Just take this in because this is how depending on how you see the Affordable Care Act and some of the things I said, you're like, you see the facts and you're like, okay, the middle income people who they're already making money, they have to pay more, and you say the success is so many more people got insured, but why? Because they got subsidized. Those people who see it that way, this is how they think.
Republican Party has done such a good job propagandizing that if you need anything from the government, you're a lazy piece of shit. Yep. And you're a moocher, when really the parasites and the parasitic people in the country are the billionaires. Republican.
Here's how I take this. Because I've gathered that, I guess nobody has really fixed this issue. And I've gathered, and I don't know how true this is because I know how hateful people are. So it could be like, I don't know, jealousy or something. But it seems like the people who've been winning all this whole time is insurance companies, right? The medical industry. They've been fine, okay? They're kind of fine if the government gets to set the prices, right? They're like, yeah, we'll just jack it up and make you pay as much as possible. And so maybe it's fair to say that no side, no Republicans, no Democrats have dealt with what? Maybe the elephant in the room is these big companies who maybe I've heard are very involved in politics. It's out of my purview at this moment. I don't want to just repeat things because people are angry out there. But okay, maybe the government just is scared to deal with the big pharma, big healthcare. There may be some truth to that. But this is how they think, right? You can't have even a little bit of, okay, let's have the government handle healthcare to some sort of percentage. I don't know. You can't even have a little of that because these people think that they're saints. That they're saints. These people are homeless. They just need a leg up. And you say anything, you're just calling them parasites.
Propaganda.
You're just calling them right?
That if you need anything from the government, you're a lazy piece of shit. Yep. And you're a moocher.
So we can't even do a little bit of that because these people basically are telling you have to let the whole world come here and give them welfare. And if you say otherwise, you're calling them a piece of ish and you don't want to help them and it's propaganda. And put it like this. What are you complaining about? Right now, you can go to healthcare.gov. Let's say you're down and out, right? You're you don't make enough money. You're like, I don't earn a living wage. I can't, right? I need healthcare. You can right now go to healthcare.gov. Obamacare passed, folks. What is this? Republicans, you just want to call them moochers. They need more help. What more do you want? Healthcare. You can go to healthcare.gov right now. Nick, I don't make money. I need help from the doctors. You can go to healthcare.gov right now and like get help as a low-income person. Now, what happens though to me? Let's say I'm now shopping for insurance. I can't go to healthcare.gov. I work. Okay? I work, so I make money. I'm fine. I work. I could take care of myself. I can't go to healthcare.gov. But then I think about everything I was learning, and I'm just like, wouldn't that just plot me in the category of people who is now paying these people who are shopping on healthcare.gov? Because I work, right? And I'd be like a new insurance shopper. I'm a little younger, right? I'm healthy. I'm fine. I haven't needed, like, I take care of myself. I'm not too crazy with my health. I could be better. But anyways, what would that put me in? What position does that put me in? That now puts me, I'm now, right, one of these people who's in the middle income, who has to subsidize these people. You understand? And now you start getting into what's really going on. How is healthcare so expensive? Why did this or that premium go up? Well, it depends. Were you one of the people whose tax credits is going to end January 1st, 2026 or something like that? And so you were getting help and subsidized, and you were actually at a lower thing, and now your premium went up because no more free stuff in a sense. And since you're not getting the freebies, you're getting the expensive stuff like everybody else. So were you that, or is it or are you the other category? You see how it's like this feedback loop. And I guess who wins? Insurance? I don't know. But that's how I'm seeing it. I'm really not like that knowledgeable on this, but it was interesting because I react to the news, right? I react to the news. Good questions were asked of me. And you gotta know, like, in terms of like civics, politics, you're like, I want to be a voter. I want to be. These are the things that you gotta know, or else it's just like, or else it's just, hey, let the state run the grocery stores. We'll fix it. I swear. Now, I'm not saying mom, dad. Look, I want New. This will be interesting to watch. What if it's like New York becomes like awesome or something? Like, I'm just saying though. That's just me as like a person with no knowledge. Maybe some of you USSR expats. Are you still in? You guys are in the chat, right? Are like, no, Nick, I fled from that. You shouldn't even like that, even 10%. Anyways, look, I have some things about this. I want to get to my calls, 844-900-2229. Tell me, am I crazy? Chat, am I crazy? Look, calls, I'll get right to you. But calls, you're probably hearing me all of a sudden. Thank you for waiting. You're hearing me in the queue, and I appreciate the patience. I'm almost done here. I got a couple of things I had collected. Now tell me, am I crazy in how I'm seeing this? Jennifer Welch will tell you, you're just like propagandized. These are just these
Party.
are moochers. You just call. I can't believe you call these. You're hating moms. You're hating moms and calling them lazy. How dare you? I mean, you're just like what? Go make out with your CEOs. Jennifer Welch, the billionaire hater. You can't hate anyone. If you hate anyone, you hate all. That's not very Christian, Jennifer Welch. And she'll have you believe in that kind of thinking. So you can't even question this. You gotta go. That's why you gotta go full Mom Donnie with these people. But I mean, look.
All the other.
This is a mom. Apparently, this is a mom.
All the other countries that wonder and say that America.
Let's throw this. Let's boost this.
Americans are just fat and lazy and they don't do anything. All the other countries that wonder and say that Americans are just fat and lazy and they don't do anything to better themselves. This is what $115 gets you. Let me show you. We were able to get some Ritz crackers, one thing of cereal, some ramen, more ramen, tuna, bag of potatoes, a few avocados, some snacks, desserts, 2 bags of chips, ice creams, pizza rolls, some sausage biscuits, one thing of Dr. Pepper.
It's a travesty.
All of this for $115.
It's a travesty.
We're not making it. This is going to feed my kids for less than a week. And this doesn't include any dinners. There are no dinners here. This is lunch and snacks. I don't know how people are making it.
I don't know how people are making it. It's hard out there. It's hard. Trump, when are you going to fix it? Trump, fix the groceries. Okay. That's just like, again, we're exploring this, okay? There's levels. I'm thinking out loud. I'm thinking out loud here. You're on the ride with me. And I was kind of on this ride a little bit. And so I'm just taking it in. I'm looking at some of the comments. Bob the Farm Guy says, while I agree with most of the posts here that her food selection is questionable. That's how this guy types. That's how this guy types. I agree that her food selection is questionable. Sorry. It's just a funny way of typing. Her point is valid, and if she had bought real food, meat, vegetables, milk, and such, there would be less food on the counter. It's a hard life out here, man. You're in a food desert. You just have to buy junk food. You're just forced to be fat. Okay, it's terrible. And if she wanted to be healthy, and bought real food, meat, vegetables, milk, and such, there would be less food on that counter. Is that true, chat? Is that true? Is that true? Hold on. Let's take this in. Let's go to Sprouts even. Okay? Let's see this. Let's not dox myself too much. Let's open up Uber Eats, groceries, and they're probably more expensive on Uber Eats, okay? Here's a little California mock grocery cart. Let's assume what? She said kids. Let's assume 2 kids, okay? Fine. Maybe more. We're going to try. I have a little mock cart here. Chat, am I crazy? Where are the moms in the chat? Where are the dads? Where are the parents in the chat? Here's what I got going. That's not. Hold on. I don't want to dox myself. Here's a little example. Am I crazy? She's like, there's no dinners here. She's got the donuts, the ice cream, the Coke. She's got the donuts, the Funyuns, the Takis, the ice creams, the biscuits. Okay. I'll be right with you, chat. Hold on. I'm trying to pull this up. Give me one sec. Okay. How do I see all the items I picked? Okay. Like, how do we do this? Like, am I tripping here? Okay, I got 2 dozen eggs. Like, I'm kind of just like, I'm winging it here. I'm just kind of winging it here. 2 dozen eggs. Okay, she said, this is not enough. $115 for all the food you just saw. This is not enough to feed my kids for a week. We're going to assume 2 kids. Can't feed them for a week, and this is not even dinners. Now, I'm not like this chef or anything. Okay, we got 24 eggs. Okay, 2 gallons of milk. We're keeping it chill. Like, maybe you can, in your mind, you can pick and choose different things that you would have in your home. But let's pick just like Whole Foods, easy. I got 2 packs of these 6-pack drinkable yogurts. Okay, bread, tortillas. We could do French toast. We could do sandwiches, bagels, peanut butter. Look, now again, I got like double of some of this stuff. So you can maybe pick and choose, like, okay, fruits, this and that. 3 pounds, like we're doing it real simple. 3 pounds of roast beef, 3 pounds of chuck. Okay, $138. Now throw in some carrots, onions, celery. Braise up the chuck. Like, folks, 3 pounds of chuck. 3 pounds of chuck. You're eating like the most amazing, braised, hearty, nutritionally dense all week. You're eating that all week. That's the whole fam. That's dinner, the whole fam, 2 kids. Tell me if I'm crazy. That's the whole fam. Rice. Throwing a $15 10-pound bag of rice, or however those are. Let's call it $25. $160. Family, 2 kids. Am I crazy? Like, is she just shopping wrong? I think she's shopping a little wrong. We're braising that up, and now that's just one recipe. Maybe think of a different recipes, those that are more creative. Ivana says we're only 2 people, but I can make it happen under 100 a week. Like, I'm not telling you, you have to just deal with the least, be happy with crumbs. You must, it's not even about that. Be humble, that's a good thing. But I'm not telling you, like, stop, don't question the government, just be happy with what you have. I'm trying to bring like a little bit of reality to. They're saying they can't afford groceries. That's what they're saying. They're saying it's unaffordable. And there's already help. What is the complaint? There's already help. You can already go to healthcare.gov. You can already, if you don't make money, you can already get like SNAP and all that stuff. And then if you do make money, you're supposed to take care of yourself. Sorry, am I loco here? What else about this? Because that's what they're saying. They're saying it's not, we can't. It's just you can't afford the groceries. It's not possible. So this was an interesting question that was posed to Mike Johnson. This is Republicans. Food prices are still going up. Grocery prices are still going up. How do you respond?
Yeah, but the USDA has reported, and all of the economists have shown, food prices always go up. There's an inflationary level that's built into grocery prices, but they're going up at a much slower pace.
Oh, I don't want to move on too fast. Someone said she looks very healthy already. She don't look hungry. I didn't want to move on too fast from that. That's the other point. That's not a way to live. This looks desperate. This is not a way to live. Fat and angry and desperate, and government, when are you going to help me? There is no chuck. I see no chuck roast on there. Where are the carrots? Where are the celery? You don't have to eat the carrots and celery. Those are great. You will eat them, sure, but they don't have to be raw. Like, you cook them in the big braise. Now you got veggies going. Where's the, like, what? That's not a way to live. That's not an example. So anyways, where was I here? I want to get to my calls. Honestly.
Go up. There's an inflationary.
This guy was saying.
Reported, and all of the. Yeah, but the USDA has reported, and all of the economists have shown, food prices always go up. There's an inflationary level that's built into grocery prices, but they're going up at a much slower pace. In other words, the economic policies, even though all the provisions of the Working Families Tax Cut have not yet been implemented, that's going to make a dramatic effect. It's going to be like jet fuel to the economy. We have all these pro-growth policies that will bring down costs, increase wages, increase.
I just don't know. I mean, have grocery prices gone that up or down? They've been pretty just. So COVID, and stuff like, it's been like the supply chains, and so gas prices and groceries kind of been up since then. Been kind of up and down, right? Biden's like, well, I made it cheaper for you for Thanksgiving. Oh, did he say that? Trump then the Fox the videos, whatever, the news stories on Fox were like, no, actually Trump brought it down. The turkey prices are down. I might be getting that wrong. In fact, I remember the video saying the turkey prices are way up with Biden. What are we gonna do? And then, so it's not even that. in my opinion, it's a little bit of this and a little bit of that. Trump says things are down in certain respects. I mean, I don't know him to be a liar. So you got to know that if he said it, it's at least somewhat true. But anyways, this is the response. I mean, this is, his name is Zoran Kwame Mamdani, really? In 2024, Republicans promised to lower the cost of groceries. In 2025, they're shrugging it off, saying food prices always go up. For too long, government's failure to deliver has been treated as inevitable. My administration will prove the government can work for you. See, this is why, this is partly why he's got this attention. You know, the people don't care about this Mike Johnson. Which might be true, by the way. I personally don't exactly know, but that there is like a logic here. There is quite a logic here, in that prices as an economic function have never really gone down. Where was that thing on Fred economic data? Where was it? So I don't just say things. Essentially, I mean, it's like this known thing. Now, I'm not an economist. You know, I look it up and it's like, okay, so economists say this. Doesn't make it just true. But they do say this. Like, the prices, as you know, as consumer prices, as a thing, as a concept, over time of American history of the country, have pretty much just gone up. I think I've gathered it's a function of money itself, like fiat currency. I mean, Mamdani might want to take but Mamdani's really, the real problem with Mamdani might be like the money system itself, but it's like all we got. Like, that's a really, really big question, I gather. And he wants to say, all we got to do is just wave a magic wand. Okay. The reason food prices are up is because these meanies over here hate you. And that's too simple. It's just not exactly in the food system. I forget, not familiar. In the healthcare, yeah, maybe, but they were like incentivized by the government, getting bailed out, etc. And who's holding that up? Democrats, right? If I may, for a moment, circle the wagon, sound like a Republican for a second. They're out there still fighting, like, no, we still didn't fix it. We did not fix it, but you can't. You look at these poor people; they need help. So we're gonna shut it down. Tax credits got to keep going. And if you say no to us, well, then you're a big old meanie, like a Republican is. Meanies that hate these poor crying people. By the way, let's look at the poor crying person again. Do we have that handy? This is good enough. Well, I don't know if this person was a SNAP recipient.
The other countries that
wasn't clear. I don't think this person was necessarily a benefits recipient. But she's fat. Folks, what can I say? A lot of this is for me too. I found this interesting. I'm like, oh, I really don't know about this stuff, but I could be a little discerning as I look into it here. Okay, last thing here. This was it. Still kind of insurance stuff and all that, but I found it interesting. And then we'll move on and do just rock calls. Thank you for the patience. 844-900-2229. Woman just opened up her new health insurance bill and couldn't believe her eyes.
Let me show y'all my address. My insurance. But just opening my mail for my insurance that is renewing for 2026. Right now, I pay $122 per month for health insurance. Beginning January 1st, 2026, your monthly premium will be, beginning January 1st, 2026, your monthly premium will be, mind you, I pay $122 right now per month. Starting January, I would be having to pay where is it? You see that? $853.05 for health
Is
insurance.
it gross? Are you guys grossed out?
I'm going from
Is that mac and cheese? I don't know what that is. Is that healthy?
$22.
You put your food on the internet. If this was China, if this was China and we had the ACA, we would be able to dock her social credit scores, and then you know what I'm saying? Like, hey, I'm not saying I want that. I'm just saying, if this was China, it's like, how are we gonna have? Oh, no, we gotta have the healthcare, the ACA. We gotta do it. These people aren't even serious. These people aren't even serious about it. They'll tell you. You just want to say they're moochers. It's like endless videos of fat people. They're like, oh, I want this and that. You better give it to me. I sell the EBTs. I sell this and that. They're telling you, yeah, at least it's home cooked. It's home cooked food. They're telling you clearly, no, we sell this stuff. We sell this EBT. We make money. We have videos and they tell you, no, don't call them moochers. They're not even serious. They're not even serious. If you video yourself, you're like fat and all that, there should be like an automatic, if we were going to do it their way, go super, I don't know, now I'm being real simplistic for a joke. Like if we were to go super China, so communist. Ooh, dude. So such a nasty thing. And we go, they're not even serious, right? They would never allow us to dock her, maybe not her, dock their social credit score. Or would they? I mean, they are women. This is women. And they are the most intolerant. The shock troops of the state. So happy to do their bidding.
Per month to $853.05 per month for health insurance. They have absolutely lost their fucking mind. They have absolutely lost their fucking mind. So guess what? A lot of people's about to be without health insurance. Because ain't no way. Ain't no way. I'm self-employed and I'm not about to pay $853 for health insurance. And
hey, am I crazy here? Doesn't that sound like she's starting to sound like a individual citizen voter with agency. Am I crazy here? She's like, wait, I'm looking at my premium and it went up and I'm not about to pay that. Wow. Huh. She's starting to sound like maybe like a voter with agency. I don't like this deal. I will pay for this. I would not pay for that. Anyways. There might be something wrong going on with the insurance companies. I'm very careful, right? My spidey senses, people are so hateful. They're like, my life is bad because billionaires exist. So I'm definitely careful. There may be a scam going on, and there may even be a need for the government. I'm not against that. To go in and kick doors down and be like, hey, you stop. Hey, company CEOs, you better stop. Get the knee off the neck off my American people. Like there may be a place for that.
It's for me.
What was I going to say about this? Look, she shows you the thing. It says Blue Cross Blue Shield. She's insured by, essentially, what this is they insure physicians and doctors and health and hospitals. So she's probably like some nurse or something. And the question is like, why did it go up? She went from $100 to like $800. So were you getting massive help? Which is to say, then what about all those other people? That's why their prices go up. That's why the system keeps getting crazier. And you're subsidizing, so things get more expensive. And then they get taken off, and it's like, now we can't pay for it. Well, government help us. And it's like, well, we got to use the taxpayer money to help people. It's just like, then we got to rent. Then we got to freeze the rent. We got to subsidize the healthcare. People getting sicker. You don't really have that like creator, individual, worker Now the thinking is that they are that though, that they are workers. They just need a little leg up. They need a little help, and they will be the billionaires tomorrow. They will be the creators of businesses tomorrow. But now we have TikTok. Now we have X. They're on the social media. They're telling us. They're showing themselves to be very irresponsible. Bumps on a log, unhealthy, like. So that's my rant about that. Anyways, let's get to some calls. Insurance bill, blah, blah, blah. And the thing about Blue Shield Blue Cross is it is private, but you can, it's funny because it's weird. You can purchase Blue Cross Blue Shield insurance through healthcare.gov if you qualify. Now, are there nurses that I don't really know how that works? See, now that I got more questions, but let's not get distracted here. We got more callers. 844-900-2229. And I do appreciate the patience. I want to get to Canada first. Kicking it off here. We've got Canada in the house. Jermaine, pleasure. Go ahead.
Hey, Nick. How are you, man?
All is well, sir.
Nice. When our... I have to say, man, I love the intro. Fire.
You're talking about...
your intro.
Yeah, the classic one. He's an anchor baby from Canada.
Oh yeah, it's amazing.
Nice. Yeah, I'm glad you like it.
Yeah, so
it's an original.
Oh, yeah. When are you gonna buy the BBL, man?
Oh, we're working on it. You know, BBL. How much do they cost? BBL price. We're talking 8,000 to 60,000. Okay, sir, and I'm the type of person I buy right, so I don't buy twice.
Nice. That makes sense. So less money spent.
Bingo. And this is the viewers supporting, so we want to use that correctly and get the best BBL money can buy.
Yes, sir. Nice. So I'm calling you today. You know, in China right now, right? There's a lot of Muslim on a section there. You know?
Muslim what?
And Muslims in China.
Like is that the Uyghurs and stuff?
Sorry?
Is that the Uyghurs or the Uyghurs or whatever?
Yes.
Okay, I've definitely heard
of it. And you're not hearing no protest or eruption or craziness going on regarding that with the Muslims, which is interesting.
You know, what is the story with all that? I'm trying to think, what do I know about the Uyghurs? That's like a name I've seen on the internet, and I think I heard that China's mean to them, maybe.
Yeah, there are a group of ethnic people that are like Muslim beliefs, Islamic beliefs. But in China, they don't allow religion, so that's part of it right there.
I see, yeah.
Yeah.
They don't allow like different religions and stuff.
Yeah. But my point to that is, like, I was on Instagram, I think, last night, and one of my buddy there is Jamaican, and he posts a video with this lady talking about Nigeria, and she was saying that, you know, Donald Trump is gonna, you know, send help or hate for the Christians that are getting killed in Nigeria. And her point was just so silly because she mentioned that Trump is only sending aid to Nigeria just because of the gas and natural minerals that's there. And I'm like, would you not want to protect that? I mean, that's like that's pretty much gold for the country itself to have developed.
So there's more reason to be there, you're saying?
That's what she's saying. She's saying it has nothing to do with that the Nigerians are getting killed, right?
Oh, so you're telling me there's minerals and assets over there. Okay, so protecting
Yes.
Christians and assets. Okay, so there's 2 reasons to be there. Nice.
So now there's like, and she makes a point. I'm like, well, that kind of makes sense. You're protecting the people that are being killed for their belief, and also protecting the resources out there, because it's better for the country that way, right?
If we need it, we should take
And
it. We'll put it to better use.
and we can't let the Muslim have that. They're gonna start their own country and come after us.
Totally. I'm with it. If we need it, we should take it and we put it to better use.
Yeah. Yeah.
Especially if it's in
You
like
know?
in our sphere of influence. You know.
Yeah.
The what are the mandate? What is it called? The Monroe Doctrine, baby, or some stuff like that. Whatever it is.
Yeah.
The one that says we own this side of the world. And so,
Exactly.
you know, yeah, resources. Look, if you'll play with us, hey, Venezuela, hey, Latin America, we could be cool. Check out Argentina. We could be cool. We can all enjoy these resources, but they are ours.
But it's funny because I remember you had a show maybe a couple of weeks ago where you're talking about, you know, the white people go to these countries and they use the resources to better the country that they end up in. And, well, Nigeria is mostly black people now and Muslim, but they're not doing anything with the resources. Isn't that funny?
Interesting. I always heard that growing up. It always interested me how I heard growing up first, like, oh, Nick, you don't know Colombia is so rich with resources. Africa's so rich with resources. All these places so rich with resources. And I never understood how they could be poor or something growing up.
Yeah. Yeah.
Now, I guess you hear later, it's like they took it. It was theft. But
Yeah.
I also see a lot
Well.
of people who can't maintain stuff, lazy maybe. Well, maybe not
Yeah.
lazy, but in some cases lazy.
They just don't
Big
have
time.
the ability to do it.
Right.
Yeah. And the next part to that is that the way she was talking, you know, it's like she's saying, listen, Trump is helping the Nigerians. And she didn't put up the point that the Muslim, the so-called Muslim that says their religion is peace and love. But if you don't submit to their religion, they're going to off you, right? And I'm like, and the funny thing is, she has a lot of views and likes and comment. I'm like, bunch of simps, because she dressed like a slut too, right? You know, she pump her lips up and dress so sexually. And when she's doing her videos, she's showing her body. And I'm like, there you go. That's why I call and ask when you're going to get your BBL.
Bro, simps, man. I need to like employ this simp energy. It's like, it's crazy. It's like, I don't even know if I want that. Now that when you put it like that, I'm like real turned off about it. I'm like, man, that's a scourge, so to speak. But not a scourge, you know, they're lost. They're just lost and blind. But man, simps, like, you just can't do it. Like, what are you doing?
Yeah.
Like, you're just not living. You're like a drug addict. You're not living a serious life.
That's for sure. Yeah. It kind of goes with Haig's show today too. You know, we were talking about how can this problem be solved when all these people are voting Democrats, and I mean, and they're not like liking Trump because, you know, Trump is trying to do things the right way, but because he's so direct and blunt, people hate him for it. But you should actually appreciate someone being direct and blunt with you. But because he hurts your feelings, you can get all emotion, just like mama. So you'd rather hear nice things and things that makes you feel good but are not true. It's just crazy.
It's one of the rarest things in the world, man. Someone just being blunt and
Yeah,
honest, to the point where it hurts. It is one of the rarest things in the world, and everybody shuns it. And the more I think about it, as you say that, the more I realize it's like it's deeper. It's deep because we run from pain, and those people are showing you love. And it's funny, even your so-called enemies who will say the truth, but in anger they might yell. Even those people are are like more loving, so to speak, than all the honey you get from the so-called loved ones in your life. That's how I see it sometimes. That's why I like.
True, man.
That's why I appreciate. I've always had very. I've had strange friends, but not strange. Even friends that are like. I don't know if they see me as an enemy, but it's very rare. It's very rare someone to tell you something honest like that.
Oh yeah, yeah, man. That's why I appreciate your guys' show, and I'm like, this is what we need, you know.
Right on, man. I appreciate that. That means a lot. Thanks.
All right, man. That's pretty much my little spiel there, but I hope you have a good show, man, on the Friday here. Are you gonna go longer like last Friday or no?
I think so. There's something I wanted to. There's like an engagement, to put it like that I kind of wanted to be at. It is optional, but it's kind of important I'm there. I'll let you know. Jermaine, thank you for your call.
Nice. All right, man. Thanks, Nick. Bye.
Take care, sir. (844-900-2229). Thank you. We got New Hampshire, and this has got to be
Howdy,
Garrett.
Nick.
How you doing, sir?
Yes, sir. I'm doing well. How are you?
All is well, man. Thanks.
Yeah, so I saw you talking about the SNAP benefits, and, you highlighted that video of that lady who was complaining about groceries and stuff like that. And it stirred a little something in me, because I saw that growing up so much, and I wasn't from a family that had, a lot. We had enough. We never were starving or anything of the sort. But one thing that really, really hit home was right after my parents divorced, we, everything was just like shattered. We were standing on what we had, and we went with our dad. My parents didn't fight in the divorce proceedings, but we went with our dad. And there was one night where we were looking for, the money to, feed the family and everything. And I was only like 12 or 13 years old, but there was like a traveling pawn shop that came into town. And my dad wasn't a big collector of things, but he had some knickknacks and collectibles, and we had to eat. So he ended up going, and he took me with him. And even before, the things were sold, he asked us, is there anything that you can't part with? Is there anything that you want to save? And none of my brothers or I said, yes, I want to keep that. Even though at the time I knew there were some things where I was like, I really want to have this. But there was that other part that knew what was important. And it really wasn't until 15 years later that I actually understood that it was a lesson about not being held on to those things. And he gave us the opportunity to choose those things or look away from those things. He didn't tell us this is what's going to happen. He wasn't stern about it. He just gave us the option. And I know he didn't want us to say, yes, we want to keep it, or no, we don't want to keep it. It was just a lesson. And when I hear other people, even other people that I've talked to, they, complain about how poor they are. As I was growing up, I had a couple friends, kind of make it like a who's the most poor, who should be felt the sorriest for. And I knew our situation. It just was so weird that they had all these different things. They went on trips and they did this and they did that. And we had what we had, but they were coming and crying to us about how hard things are. And it just was like, at the time when I still had that anger, I was like, don't you, like, I never said it to them, but in my head, I was thinking, like, don't you understand that we don't exactly have it easy either? But I understand now that, you know, like, at that point, we were rich in something else, something that was not materialistic.
Interesting. That is actually quite interesting to me in a number of ways. I don't want to cut you off.
No. I try to
You
cut
know, we
myself
really,
off 'cause I know I can ramble.
man really, well, you made me think of as a number of things. I mean, I was thinking about how man really is in a fallen state. You know, no matter what you grow up in, you gotta like overcome it all, like your family, your friends, your life around you, your environment, your thoughts, and it's like a constant story of people in any situation around you. You're so-called poor, and it's just people clamoring to be victims, like who's poorer, I need sympathy, or they'll say in the hood, man, they got a million LeBrons, but you know they got other problems. They get into drugs, they get into that, or you know they're a million this, or rich, and it's like we really are in a fallen state. You know, you gotta overcome it all.
Yeah.
So that's what I was thinking of too. But were you saying that when you went to that traveling pawn shop thing with your father, were you saying that your parents were divorced at that time?
Yeah, it was pretty much directly afterwards, probably.
So were you
maybe a
with
few
just
weeks.
like your dad at that moment?
We were with our dad, and we had every other weekend we'd spend with our mom.
Man, it makes me think about how much our society, our world likes these programs and stuff that are so. They may have even helped people. They may have even helped you in some moment or this and that, but they make it very easy to have the big overarching, not trauma, but call it the big overarching event in your life, which is the separation of your parents. And it's at least at that time, you know. Now this is much years later, but it's. Do you see what I'm saying? It's like they say that about the black community or otherwise. I mean, it makes it far too easy to have these broken families, and some might say, well, you got to have some of this or that, but I'm just looking at the state of the so-called family, and you know, there seems to be a certain side that loves those things. Like, we need more of that, but those things are like antithetical to everything we know about like a normal family. Father and all this, like, no, let's just subsidize the mother. They don't need the man. All this stuff.
Yeah, and even at the time when, you know, like we were struggling and, you know, making it by, we were at one point we were on like reduced lunch at schools, and they cut that off. My dad couldn't apply for help because it wouldn't be allowed to him, and everything just seemed to make it harder during those times. And I've never seen him be mad about those things. Every time that something like got in the way, he just looked to the next thing and worked harder instead of groveling at the feet of someone else and, you know, asking them to fix it or to help. He just, you know, I guess you could say, picked himself up by the bootstraps or whatever that saying is, and moved on.
Interesting, man. People scoff at that too, and I almost here I am responding to an apparition in my head. Like, I have to respond to them. Like, okay, maybe there is something wrong with the money or insurance companies and all that. But in my life, my whole life, everything I've gotten, any job I got, literally everything has been with that spirit, with that energy, like of, I just got to do it. There's I can't complain. Whatever, you know. So, yeah, that's everything.
Yeah,
even in like a crazy, I think even in like a messed up society where they're like scamming you, and it's like, you used to be able to live on one income and build a family and all that. But even in my life, in the midst of all that, everything in my life that's like positive or building or anything, it's because of that. I did it with that attitude of like, let me show up.
Yeah.
They said I can't do it. Well, I'll show up with a nice shirt. Oh, Nick, that's so funny. They do Indeed now. No, that's my life now. I show up with a nice shirt and say, hello, sir. Shake my hand. I want a job.
Yeah. No, even like one of the jokes that, we've had, my brother's father and I, is the girls in our family are pretty well taken care of. Like, they, like, I know, like, my cousins have been taken care of. Like, I don't have any sisters, but I've female cousins and aunts, and they are all an absolute mess. I love them, but they're an absolute mess. And some of them are doing better. Some of them are still where they're at, but that's neither here nor there. But I remember when I was turning 16, I wanted my license. So I got my license, and my dad agreed that if I kept my grades up in school, that he would pay for the driver's ed. He paid for the driver's ed. And then afterwards, he said, all right, go and get a job and buy a car. And my cousin, who was a mess, went and got knocked up and got given a free car and taken care of and everything else like that. But I mean, I can understand, I'm not saying that, to be rude or anything. She had a lot on her plate, and her parents were not great. So, but at the time when I was growing up, it was like there was a lot of resentment there. It was like, why are you getting taken care of and I'm getting stiffed? I gotta do my own work and you just get anything on a platter. So kind of like that princess behavior. And
poison.
It's
poison for the person doing that.
Yeah, we had our ups, we had our downs, and now after we're grown up and everything, we're cordial to each other, and I love my cousin now, and she's a much different person. She has really stepped up and done a lot of things, but at the time it was like, why are you getting princess behavior just because you decided to spread your legs? And
classic story.
I know that was wrong for me to think that, but I didn't know at the time.
Only if you're angry.
I was at the time.
There you go.
Now I'm not, and yeah, now it's a lot different. Now our relationship is absolutely wonderful. I mean, we don't talk all the time or anything else like that, but I can still see her posts with her kids and stuff like that. And when we go to family gatherings, we talk and we're friendly to each other. So, but at the time it was very, very, I hate you. And
it was like that.
After yeah, well, because I was resentful to her, right, because I was resentful to my whole family, because I was upset about the princess treatment where all the guys had to just get going and work on. And even my dad told me, like, at the time, like, I was not right for thinking about it in that way, and that I needed to calm down and not focus on other people and stick to getting on with myself.
It's all you got, because they're just doing like what the average family does nowadays, which is like, right, to protect the woman in that way. It comes from almost a tradition to a certain extent, but it also I also heard, I've seen evidence, heard from older people, and you can see it in like societies that exist today that are a little bit more I'll call it like behind. Primitive, that's not the word, but behind. Primitive is like ancient, but behind, that's how I'll say it. That's how I'll say it. But you'll see it today, but that's how it used to be, that actually families would be more what's the word, just like more I think the word is like chauvinistic is kind of negative, right? But I do mean that, but just not in all the negative stuff they mean about it. But just like
I understand what you mean.
they had, I think that is the word I'm trying to use. But they had a more chauvinist attitude. That was a more traditional thing. You gotta have the guys gotta be able to like function and all that. And you can see that in like so-called more traditional societies, even though they got the feminism too, like Mexico and like, so, you know, all the countries the passport bros like that are like, oh, you get a wife over there, the American woman is done, is cooked. Get you from one of these countries. It's because they got that more traditional chauvinist mindset. I'd say that's still a bad move though. This more traditional chauvinist mindset. They're still in for a bruising that they're not planning, that they don't realize.
No, I completely agree with that. I have a couple of family members that had that mindset and, you know, married out of country, and when I see them with their wives, like, sometimes they just end up being the walking doormat going, I call it like the yes dear people.
Yes
dear. Of course, dear. Yes. Yep, I will do that. Yep. And the girls taking power of the household, so they're the man in the relationship, and I hold my tongue, but
isn't it always the same spirit too? I'm sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off.
Oh no, you didn't.
It's the same. It's the same like setup too. If you get like a yes dear weak guy, the woman's always a little much. She's a little extra. She's either a little too quirky and like happy and chungus, like taking charge, like, dear, you loved when we do this, or she's too much in the other way where she's just like mad. She's like hell to pay. But it's always like that. It's always like she's out of control when the guy's like that. It's an abomination.
Yeah, no, I can speak from just what I've seen, and I'd have to agree with that wholeheartedly.
Sir Garrett, it's always a pleasure, man. Anything else you want to talk about before we move the wheels?
No, I'll let you get on with everything else. Thank you for taking my call.
Call me again, sir.
You bet.
844-900-2229. We got more calls. I want to get to all of you. And in fact, we got to welcome Rex Figs. Into the Ballers Lounge you go. Make sure you're sitting there, sir. Rex, come on down to the first class section, the first class seating. Don't be rude. Come on and sit down. And we got another one. A very lovely first class super chatter Rumble ranter. One I actually forgot to read. So I apologize. Pork Chop Express. Make your way down to the first class seating. You are now a baller. Very nice. Come on down. Sit in your seat. All that leg room. Unlimited drinkies and snackies. Whatever you want. Whatever your heart desires. Just ask the flight attendants. Very nice. Rex Figs writes, what the heck? Well, no longer. You don't have to wonder that anymore, Rex. You're in the Ballers Lounge. Pork Chop Express with a super chat reads, Ronnie, a.k.a. Joe Jr., says Trump lost more jobs than created and doesn't even... Let me see if I can show you guys. Am I understanding this? Hold on. Pork Chop Express. And the Hake Report. By the way, shout out to the Hake Report who follows me on X. That's Gorgonzola on X. And he made this clear to me. He said, Pork Chop Express... He forgot to read your Rumble rant again on stream after missing it yesterday. But I copy-pasted it at Ronnie, and his response was ridiculous. So what's going on here? You guys are talking in chat? There's an intra-chat words. Pork Chop Express writes, Ronnie, a.k.a. Joe Jr., says Trump lost more jobs than created and doesn't mention that government lockdowns for a flu are why those numbers came about. I bet he claims ignorance on per capita too. He blat. Am I doxing? I don't know who that is. Whatever. Fact, Trump had a negative net loss of jobs during his first administration. The reason why doesn't change the what. LOL, it's irrelevant to the point being made. Well, I don't know about that. Hake says, yeah, but the reason why is relevant to the point because the liberal locals shutting down things is outside the rightful control of the prez. So it's not a good measure of Trump's first term. Sounds like a pretty reasonable response. He responds to Hake, I'm interested in results, not excuses. But isn't that a little too obtuse? There's a time and place to maybe say such a thing. No, I'm not interested in results. I'm not interested in excuses. But in this case, I mean, I don't recall the conversation y'all were having before this Rumble rant. But if at all you asked the question, why did Trump lose more jobs than created? That's pretty pertinent to the response. The government shutdowns, the lockdowns. You may not like it. You may even remain with the same response and say, I care about results, not excuses. But to say it's irrelevant, you can even remain in that position and think, well, it's not good enough. I'm not happy about it. I will care about results, not excuses. But if you ask the question, why did Trump lose more jobs than created during that time? Then that is very pertinent to the conversation, and you can't say it's irrelevant. It's in fact the very definition of relevant. You may not like it. You may think, well, it's not good enough. Well, that's not a good enough reason. I don't buy it. He could have done this and that, but it's very relevant. And now the onus is on you to say why it's not, because it's quite relevant. It's like what I was saying about like our economy. I mean, I'm not telling you that you have to agree with me. Okay? I think it's like I think Trump's doing like a noble pursuit, challenging the establishment, the government, in large part for us. And you may disagree, but I think talking about that would still be quite relevant to the conversation of why has our economy got so much pressure on it. I mean, you may not see it as pressure. You're like, why are gas prices not this way? What's the word? Instability. Markets don't like such things. Supply chains, enemies, war breaking out, Nord Stream pipelines, whole sources of energy that now we're like completely toppled because now we're like a war with Russia or whatever. So I mean, again, you could say, well, I don't care about that. That's a fair thing. Fine, you could say that, but tell me where I'm wrong. How is that not relevant? It's very relevant. So thank you for the Rumble rant, sir, and make sure you're sitting in the first class seating, Pork Chop Express. Make your way down to the freaking Ballers Lounge. Amazing. I want to get to... We got California in the house. Go ahead.
Hello.
Hello. Hello. Assalamu alaikum, brother.
Assalamu alaikum. You teach me how to fly? No land. Just U-turn. Show me how to make U-turn.
You give me controls to Big 747? Sure, no problem.
No land. Just U-turn. Man, that chat is cold-blooded, man. All right, how you doing?
All's well.
Man, that chat is hilarious, man. When you were showing this girl, now this is to the ladies. Did she really have a big Tupperware storage? When you store your leftovers, was she really eating out of a Tupperware? And somebody in the chat said something about her hairdo. They said it looked like a volcano exploding.
the curls were like highlighted.
Yeah,
that's kind of funny.
Yeah. Well, her insurance went up.
It looks like lava.
Hey. Yeah, look, that's what somebody in the chat said. I was dying.
That's kind of funny. No hate on the Tupperware, though. That means she cooked that. Shout out. I have no clue what that glob of food is. It could be healthy. It could be unhealthy. Jury's still out. Go ahead.
The ladies. Ask the ladies. That is not ladylike. Okay, look at that. Are you really eating out of a Tupperware storage? Oh, God. That's for leftovers, honey.
Yeah.
Maybe her insurance went up. Yeah. Maybe that looks like, well, whatever. Maybe her insurance went up because the doctors do communicate with insurance. Because I mean, if you look at her, she is a fat body.
She looked a little large.
Yeah, she's a little big there. I mean, she's not completely out of control, but it doesn't look too healthy.
No.
Yeah, so maybe that's why your insurance went up, sweetheart. And this comment about Trump's job thing, I mean, I don't know. Maybe that sounds like a little resentment from slapping that economy thing about. I mean, first of all, I don't think anybody knows anything about the economy or even talk about it. Not even qualified. If you think Obama had a good economy, no way. No way. And that Obamacare is not even all that good. I think they said it's top heavy. And it's not cheap. They said people get charged a lot of money for that stuff. Right. And it's pretty much like socialism, really.
Right. It's moving money from there's people who pay normal insurance, all that subsidy and taxes. The tax credits is actual literal tax money subsidies from people
Ronnie
who make money to those who don't. That's like literal.
Yeah, Ronnie was counting them stupid Dollar General and Walmart jobs that Obama gave everybody, but he forgot to check and see that most of those jobs were part-time. They were 37. He don't know this, but listen, they were 37 hours a week, 3 hours from full-time. And when you do that, what do you have to do when they mandate Obamacare? You got to go get Obamacare. Oh. You're part-time. Even though you work all week, you're 3 hours short from 40. This just seems how many people
to qualify, it's like also how much you make.
Yeah, I mean, a lot of those people are working 37 hours. And when they do that, they force you to go to Obamacare. That's not cool. You're working like a full-time worker, but you're 3 hours short.
And you're saying that it's so that they can qualify for Obamacare kind of thing?
It's not qualified. It makes you go to them.
Oh.
Because as you know, Obamacare wasn't good, but those people were forced to go to it.
Right, because you have to be insured.
Yeah, that's why they're trying to get rid of that stuff. I don't know. Private insurance is better, but baby girl looked like she might have been, like you said, a nurse or something, and she got Blue Shield or whatever, But doctors communicate with your insurance companies. Maybe it was because of her
condition. You can get it, even if you're on Blue Shield, you can still get it. It could still be part of the Affordable Care Act and be subsidized. Just because it's Blue Shield doesn't mean it's not subsidized. If you qualify, you can get a Blue Shield through healthcare.gov.
Right. And, like that.
So the question is, why does she go from 100 to 800?
Her health. Doctors communicate with your insurance companies, man. Look, she's eating. What is that she's eating? Let's just look at what she's eating. She's on camera.
Right.
Yeah. She's pigging out on live, and she's talking about healthcare, and she's chewing while she's talking.
She was chewing while she was talking. That's true. She really was.
She was.
Finish your meal. Like, what are you?
Yeah.
Turn the camera on later.
Yeah. Don't get touched, Ronnie, because I know a little bit more about economics than you do. And I don't have no Section 8. I don't rent no Section 8. I refuse to take Section 8 tenants. I don't want them. And a lot of owners are getting their property back. A lot of people are getting their property back from those people right now. I mean, feel sorry for them, whoever rented to them, but a lot of them are leaving. No, I have no Section 8 tenants, whoever that was talking. Won't allow it.
Way too much trouble.
Way too much. And you're only getting, in my market, San Francisco's market, 2-bedroom, $4,800. I'm gonna take somebody for Section 8 for $1,500. And look what kind of person it is. He's only paying $100. I don't want those kind of tenants.
I hear horror stories. More trouble than worth.
Hey, would you? Yeah, they're not worth it.
I don't know.
So they're getting ready to.
I might try.
I don't know, man.
Like, be creative. I need it. I can't be gate kept out. You know what I'm saying? Like out of the industry, out of the real estate. If that's my way in, kind of thing. I'm more willing to try it. But you're saying, nah, I hear terrible things. I hear bad stuff.
I ain't renting to them people, man. I don't even know my tenants. I take all that stuff through property management, and they pay the bills, they do the maintenance, they do all that stuff if something go wrong, and I don't talk to those people. I don't come by. I don't even want them to see me, really. Just as long as you pay your rent, and that's it.
True say.
That's the. Yes, I refuse to rent to Section 8. Yes, I do. I'm not on camera. I can say it. That's actually discrimination.
Oh.
And
He's
I'm
talking
doing
about
it.
In Minecraft. He's talking
about what I said, and I'm doing
it. In the video game Minecraft, obviously, right?
I guess. I'm not renting. I'm not renting to those people, man. Look at how they treat your property, man. They don't treat your property the same as a market renter. They don't do that. Market renter, he knows that he wants his deposit back.
Right. That's right. yeah.
I mean,
we're getting that deposit back. What are you crazy?
210. I got 14 units, 16 units. I got 2 units that's the highest, 6,000. What do you think it cost them to move in that apartment? $18,000.
Oh wow!
First and last is security.
Ain't no Section 8.
What would I want?
I mean, that could be.
I don't know.
The government would be happy to pay that.
No. Section 8 ain't gonna pay that much. You keep the price out of their range.
I gotcha.
You keep the price out of their range. I mean, what would you do? I don't want it.
Yeah, I don't rent.
I've seen people with it, man. I'm telling you, man. A lot of my friends, they got property too, and they say, man, I rented to Section 8, and Quee tore my house up.
Jeez.
I say, damn. And one guy told me he had to pay $20,000 to get one of them out. Yeah. I discriminate.
It's crazy.
Yeah. You know what I'm saying?
They have rights to your stuff.
In this arena, yes, I can admit it. I discriminate. Yes. You come look at my place and you in a minivan and you got 4.5 kids coming out that minivan and they got them snot bubbles blowing out their nose and talking about, Mama, let me have my luncheon and my Caprese. No.
Oh, what happened to my calls? What the heck just happened? I pay for this service. Why are you doing that to me? It just ended my calls. It ended all my calls. What the? Callers, if you're hearing me, I don't know what the heck happened. I did not click anything. Callers, if you hear me, I don't know what the heck happened. My apologies. You heard the beep. We got beeped off. What just happened? What in the heck? We're logging back in. We're logging back into the mainframe. Thank you, William, if you're hearing me. Happy Friday. I do apologize, sir. We're logging back into the mainframe. William does not do Section 8. He made that clear. Probably good reason, too.
You are connected as the host.
What a mess. We should be back on. Apologies about that. 844-900-2229. Now this one was fascinating. NBC asks a New Yorker why she voted for Mamdani.
Who you vote for? Mamdani. Yeah. Tell me why.
He's my friend. He's a Muslim. He's a new mayor for New York. I'm happy.
Who you vote for? Mamdani.
Yeah.
Tell me why.
He's my friend. He's a Muslim. He's a new mayor for New York. I'm happy.
I'm happy. He's a Muslim. He's my friend. He's a Muslim. Maybe one of those is a good reason to vote for somebody, but those all sound like not reasons to vote for somebody. That's not why. That's not how you work your civic duty. But this is the part that really got me. Look at how the reporter rolls up to her.
Who you vote for?
Look what she has in her hands. She has the freaking candidates on popsicle sticks. Let's take just a little sneak at the crowd behind her. I don't know what this line is. I don't know where they went to go find this people. But when they go to speak to Mamdani supporters, they got to bring the candidates' pictures, headshots on popsicle sticks. Glue them on popsicle sticks so that these people can pick them out. Yeah, I part of me thinks Mamdani's win is it's a true referendum on economics and the state of New York and the state of oligarchs versus the people. Like, yeah, maybe like those white liberal women we saw on those TikToks. Maybe like those university people. But everybody else, it's like, it's just a racial coalition. It's a racial coalition. It's just a bunch of people saying, we're not white. And they may not all be like, we hate America. It's racism. It's colonialism. They may not even say any of that. They may even say, oh, I actually love America. I'm appreciative. It's better than the country I left. I want to work here and be a better American and work and create a business. They may even say all that, but they see themselves when it comes down to, hey, I'm a Muslim. I'm going to represent you. And why do I represent you as much as I do? Because you're Muslim. So they may not even be like Marxists, but it's a coalition that just sees themselves as not white. They're like, you know what? Yeah, I'm not white. This is a country of immigrants. This is a city of immigrants. A false statement. No city in the world of history has ever been a city of immigrants. That's like a new thing. That's not a city anymore. That's just like that's just a space designated to be a globalist space. I don't know how else to put it. But yeah, you taking this in? This is how they have to speak to these people. They gotta bring the candidates on popsicle sticks.
Yeah. Tell me why.
Let's get back to William, I think, man. I do appreciate you calling me back and holding there for a moment. I apologize. We got you back.
No, that's why I don't, it is discrimination, but it's my property and my choice. They have all those loopholes, and you get caught up with this, like this guy here in New York, this new mayor. He's finna take everybody's property and do that. And if they do that, they're not going to do that over here, because this guy that just became mayor, he's actually the heir of Levi's jeans. So he's got investments, and he knows better. He knows what he doesn't want it done to him. So I don't rent to them. They're not profitable. They give you, it's here, it's in New York, it's all over the country. Section 8's all over the place.
Yep.
But it's your choice to do it.
Defund single mothers.
Yeah, I don't want them. I don't want them. They're not. It doesn't pay off, and then when it don't work out, you have hell trying to get them out of your buildings. So,
and what you fund and subsidize, you get more of.
What did I say yesterday? You depend on stuff like that all your life. Just like the food stamp girls on Instagram crying. You depend on somebody to give you something, they can take it. They can give it and they can take it.
Yep.
Because they have control of your life. Now, what I really called about was Nigeria. They do have natural resources, but not enough for us to depend on. So I think mostly it was a good call from Canada. He was pointing that out and everything. They got iron ore and all of that stuff. They got iron. They got copper. They got oil, but not on a level of where it's something that affects us and everything. But I think it's more like this thing with these terrorists killing these Christians and everything.
I heard
try to get that under control.
I heard there's also valuable intelligence that is either shared through or can be gathered in Nigeria. Something I heard. Intelligence.
Well, Nigeria, what is that, next to Ghana?
It is under Niger.
It is.
Next to Chad, next to Cameroon.
I think Ghana's right there too, and Ghana said they had a little problem with Nigeria with immigration, illegal immigration, and it is kind of a trip that your caller in Canada was talking about. They have these natural resources, but their people are hungry. It's kind of crazy.
I heard that all my life.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, why?
That happens in Central America, South America too. They have resources too. Yeah. I think that's Ghana, and then that's what's that? What is that in the middle?
Benin and
Nigeria.
Togo.
Mm-hmm.
Between Ghana and Nigeria are two countries: Togo and Benin.
Yeah. They got oil, but I don't think we're depending on it. We got that Venezuelan oil. We don't even really want that anymore because it takes a little while. It takes quite the effort to process it in the country next door to it. Yeah, the country next door to it is Guyana.
Yep.
And Venezuela was threatening to go invade now because Guyana has next to no military, but Guyana has oil that
it's all disputed territory, actually.
Yeah, well, Shell Oil is involved with Guyana, and they're about to be the next boom because they're traditionally poor, but they have no military to defend themselves. And if that offshore drilling that's in Guyana, they have the good stuff that, Venezuela's oil has to be processed quite a bit to use it. And Guyana offshore has the good stuff. So Trump
Hey, we'll
already.
take it all.
Yeah, well, Trump already told them don't mess with Guyana. You know, that's a black
Oh
country.
yeah, we'll take it all. Don't worry about it. It all sounds good to me.
Yeah. You know, I mean, they got the good stuff. It's offshore, and they threaten to mess with it, and that's why you see there's a battle group in the Caribbean right now. They're stacking up over there, and there's a nuclear sub over there. There's a battle group, which you know what a battle group is. That's you know, naval.
Yeah.
That's like a carrier.
Destroyers.
So they got one nuclear sub there that's just watching them and say, "Hey, we're here. You don't see us, but we're here." And they're starting to blow up those drug boats too.
Let's go.
You know,
let's just take. Let's just take Venezuela. No. I'm just joking.
You think we should?
Would that be
you know
a
what?
long campaign that we regret? Maybe hindsight 2020. But hey, I love the idea of dominating our sphere of influence, and a man's got to do it.
It's within the Monroe Doctrine, right?
It's
So
in our
it wouldn't
backyard,
be
baby.
that
We're not
hard.
going to allow that.
It wouldn't be that hard. So they're trying not to do that. They actually are after getting him. He's got a reward on his head to get him captured, but because he's still sending those drug boats out and they're just getting sunk. You know, so this is the first time a president has actually paid attention to the drug pipeline and to try to keep that stuff that's
Seriously.
coming in our country. It's killing us. This what's that stuff?
Fentanyl. First I
yeah.
heard of someone doing something like this in my lifetime.
It's all his first time I've heard of
Blowing
it.
up a drug boat like that, like that's.
Yeah.
Let's go.
And it's quite a few of them he's blown up. So
let's
go. To keep that stuff from coming in. So the jump is from those islands in the Caribbean. They're going from Venezuela to those islands, and from those islands to Florida, Texas. You know, and I've never seen anybody
what a
jump
road.
on top of it. Man, yeah.
What a trip.
I mean, yeah, well,
They
have
couldn't
you ever
just
seen
stop
anybody
in one
do
of
it?
these islands. They had to come all the way here.
Well, drug runs are meant for nobody to see, right?
Oh yeah, gotcha. Yeah, for the drug runs. Yep.
Yeah. So, looks like I've never seen anybody do this and take these kind of actions. But there is a battle group out there, so they must be serious to bring those kind of resources out there to stop
totally.
it.
Yeah, like some smarter than I have said about this. It's like with Nicolas Maduro and Venezuela, the drug thing is one thing. But it's I forget how they put it.
Once it's a
it
threat,
is an increasing
once a
enemy in
threat,
our sphere of influence, which is what I think is the main thing actually. And the drug thing is cool too. But, them dealing with Maduro being an enemy. I'm being very crude in my summary, but
maybe in a lot of this too, he actually titled them as a terrorist group because of the stuff that's coming in there is killing so many Americans. So they labeled their country a terrorist group, and that gives him war powers to go after him without the permission of Congress and the Senate.
That's
so
awesome.
he can do that. Remember, we did that with Afghanistan. He didn't need nothing to go after them.
Oh, is that so? I didn't know that.
Bush labeled them a terrorist organization after those buildings
That's how they
fell.
did that. So that because that wasn't with Congress.
They didn't have to pass nothing. It was, once you label them a terrorist organization, the president of the United States can go after you. And people that don't like America, like a lot of Americans we have that hate America, I can tell you this: I wouldn't want to be on the receiving end of any of that equipment. None of that stuff. Aircraft carriers, destroyers, Tomahawk missiles. None of that stuff. That's, we're at home comfortable. We don't have that stuff coming up our backyard. That stuff is deadly. Remember what he said to the Hamas, because Israel just buried a bunch of terrorists in the tunnels 2 days ago. He just said, the hell with it. They used those, what they call them, those bombs that make tunnels seal up immediately with concrete.
B-52s.
No. They got a special. They got a special bomb that
bunker
goes
busters?
in the tunnel. No, not that one. Nerf bombs or something like that, and it just immediately seals a tunnel up. And they buried a bunch of them just 2 days ago. And remember, Trump was like talking to him, and he had his interpreter right there. He says, "Hey, if you don't disarm, we're going to disarm you. We're going to disarm you." And he said, "Should I tell him? Should I tell him that?" Trump said, "No. Go ahead and tell him. If you don't disarm, I'm going to kill every one of you." You really want me to say that? He said, interpret that to him. Either that, or the Israelis are going to kill you, whatever.
Oh, yeah.
That's some cold work, ain't it?
They got some reputation.
Hey, he said, it's either them, the Israelis. Well, I'm going to kill every last one of you. Because Hamas has been intercepting the aid and the food from those people. Like you got all these simps. What do you think about kids being bombed? How many kids do you think got bombed and killed in World War II? A whole planet fighting. Kids
I make no comments on that. On the right, it's like
kids die. Nick, kids die in war. That's why you try to avoid war.
Right. That's
nothing unique.
Missing
nothing
statement.
Unique about that.
That's why you avoid it. Yeah.
That's why you avoided the collateral damage. But you got these simps. Your kids are being gone. Shut up. How many kids you think died in Vietnam, Korea, World War II, Japan? How many kids do you think? Oh man, Japan. That was ridiculous, man. With the firebombing. Oh Lord. You think the atomic bomb was something, man? Those incineraries, because Japan is full of teak wood. That stuff burned.
I didn't know that.
Yeah. More people died from the incendiary bombing of Tokyo than the actual people that died from the atomic bomb in Hiroshima.
Wow.
Look it up. Facts. So,
because it was all wood, huh?
If you look at Japan, they got a lot of teak out there, Now they got buildings.
No, I never thought about this. No, I had no idea.
Yeah, back then they had a lot of wooden structures.
Makes sense though.
Oh, Kevin House said World War II. Wait a minute, Kevin House, goofy ass, talking about World War II was wrong. You wouldn't have a place to live if it wasn't for those World War II soldiers. Yeah,
it looks like he's saying World War II was it looks wrong. Like he's saying it was wrong in World War II too. I think he's talking about
because
kids
you're
dying.
a simp and you don't know nothing. Wait a minute, this world is carved out the way it is today because of that.
That may be true, but do you agree with him that it was wrong also in World War II for children to die?
We ain't qualified to say whether it's wrong or right.
Oh, interesting.
What you think these people? Wait a minute. What do you think these people that got family members is in that tomb at Arizona, in Hawaii? The USS Arizona, that people would sleep, those sailors would sleep, and Japan came in Pearl Harbor. What do you think about that, Kevin? Dummy.
I don't know.
I don't either. I wasn't there. I wasn't in the bottom. I don't have a brother that's that's on the bottom of that ship. They never removed those bodies.
I didn't know that either.
It's a tomb.
Oh yeah.
It was 7:00 in the morning. They partied Saturday. They're in Hawaii. They're 19 years old. 200 planes or so. How many ships they sunk in Pearl Harbor? That got us into World War II.
Interesting perspectives, William. What can I say?
I mean, I can't make the call whether it was wrong or right. I mean, I do know that my country, I know my country exists because of it. I know that I wouldn't want to be under imperial Japanese and Nazi rule. I know I'm better off now than I would be under those conditions. That's what that dummy don't know.
How do you know that?
I didn't either. You know what they said? My dad was in Vietnam. You know what he told me when I was a teenager? The price of freedom is very expensive, William. And more than likely, I paid the bill for you and your stupid friends.
Damn.
I ain't never
the way
been to
she
war.
goes.
Have you, Nick?
Nope.
Have you been to war, Nick?
No, sir. I'm from the suburbs.
Well,
I don't want to
mean,
fight.
they only. He's saying, man, you don't know nothing about no spiders and snakes crawling up your legs and the enemy being 15
I'm
feet
from
away
suburbia.
from you at night. Yeah, you and me both.
Let's go.
What can we say?
Nice. Suburbia privilege. You gotta love it.
Yeah, we got the privilege we are living off of what they did. You know, how many World War II veterans are left? Like, what, 80? They're almost dead. Those people are approaching 100 years old. And you got somebody as disrespectful as Kevin Howell talking about it was wrong. You don't know what it was, and I don't either.
Well, I think I was just clearing that up, though. I think he just meant, like,
I
babies
seen what
dying
he
is
said,
bad.
talking about how wrong it is. How are you going to say
But
something
you-
is
but
wrong
I
and
see
you
your
don't even
response
know
took it
No,
somewhere
no.
else.
You don't
That's
even
fair.
know what it was about. You don't know what it's about. For you to say that, I know you don't know what you're talking about.
Fascinating, sir. Can you call me again?
Fascinating. Amazing. Have a good weekend.
Awesome call, Waylon. Call me again.
All right.
844-900-2229. What the? Nick ain't never shot a deer between the eyes with a BB gun, and it shows. But I don't dox, but I've shot guns. So don't get so comfortable. You know how easy it is to shoot something with a 308 at like 100 yards away? Way easier than you think. It's not like the video games. It's way easier than the video games. Okay, maybe not way easier. It's got a different vibe to it. It's way more physical, and that part you got to get used to. But aiming and shooting, okay, fine. With the pistol, it gets funny. It gets Mickey. It gets tricky. But man, those rifles, man, it is easy. It's like they almost made it to shoot. It's like they almost made it that way, huh? Isn't that crazy? It's like they almost made these things as, very accurate, powerful killing machines, tools for force multiplication. I mean, it's like they almost made it that way. But yeah, it's definitely far easier than you think. I got a couple of points in that experience tree, so you don't want to mess. You do not want to mess. We got Ohio in the house, I believe. Ohio in the house.
Nit. Hello?
Hello, who am I speaking with?
Hey, this is Steven, Ohio.
What's up, Steven? How you been?
Pretty well, Nit. How you, bud?
All is well, man. Nice to hear from you. Thank you.
Yeah, no, I listen to you guys every day. I just can't text while I work and all that good stuff, but you guys have been killing it lately.
Thank you, man. Right on.
Hey, William's my favorite caller and all. I wanted to bring up something about that. Like, when you buy houses and lease them out to people, that actually really bottlenecks, like, the whole market. Like, it seems like it strips the opportunity for other people to buy the house. Like, obviously, don't hate the player, hate the game. Like, he was smart enough to buy several properties and lease them, but it's doing what, the other dudes are doing, stealing up all the houses and renting. I don't think that's fair. What do you think?
I don't know if I've really thought about this that much. Because here you are describing a situation where, okay, what? You got like an individual, private individual. You're comparing it to something I've heard about, which is what? Big companies buying up all swaths of property so that you'll just have to rent. Does
right.
that and I've heard of that. I'm not sure of the details. I don't doubt it, but I don't believe it either in a sense. So that's where I'm at. I've heard of some of the things you're saying. Haven't even thought about that much. That's interesting. And the questions that remain for me, for example, right now is that really, for example, number one is, well, is that really so? Is that really how that'll happen? Is that really one of the pressures on the I almost cringe at using this, but like housing crisis, so to speak. I mean, they say the prices are really high, and it's used to be able to own a home, right, on one income. Like, so you're telling me, so you're informing me a little bit here. I mean, you're telling me that this is a pressure on all that.
Yeah,
Tell me
supply and
more a
demand.
little bit.
Like if the supply gets choked out, the demand is way higher because the population, they say, is always increasing. So at that point, like there's only so many houses, and new builds are going up and all that.
Mm-hmm.
But supply and demand, I have 5 plates of food, and then I'm like, oh, you know what? It's like scalping tickets. It's just kind of like being a middleman. And like being a vampire, it's just dishonest. Like, I mean, I'm not gonna hate you. It's cool, but I mean, that's something I wouldn't do. So if I can briefly, I was doing maintenance in like apartments for like last 5 years, all that, and you would just see, and me currently now, like my rent just went up like 150, and it's consecutive year by year. So what that does is it'll drive the tenants out. They go searching. They go to another apartment. They get the sweet deal, and then the next year they jump 150. Going to make you go somewhere else. Same thing with like internet and all that. Same trick, usury. Oop.
Fascinating.
Yeah,
I don't know if I've thought about it.
But
that's
the
interesting,
trick,
man. You're making me think of like, I just saw this video, and it was some lady. She looked like maybe right under 30 or something, and she was talking about how she was I just looked at my student loan payments, and I was paying, and I've been paying $900 a month for 11 months, and it was over 100,000. My balance was over 100,000 last I checked. 11 months later, my balance has only gone down about $1,000. And I'm thinking to myself, you're paying almost 1,000 every month, but you only brought down the balance barely $1,000. It sounds like you're in like a insurance trap where I don't know who told you to do it this way, but you're paying so little that you're never really going to get out of it. You got to pay a couple $100 more there, or else you're never going to get out of it. You're always just, and I see that as like a lack of her understanding, like how demoralized and uneducated you have to be to find yourself in such a situation. And I think to myself, I don't know if they should be saved or bailed out by the government, but I think to myself, maybe we should stop further people from doing that. Yes, they're dumb, but we should save them maybe because they're so dumb. And so I don't know. I just don't know. But maybe we should stop further people from doing that. Like, hey, this is a trap, an insurance trap. But it's also like it's also a contract that they agreed to. So what do you think about that? Because these are just things I'm thinking about out loud right now.
No, you nailed it. So it's like be an MFer at your own risk, but at the same time, they're just it's the insurance thing, because I did sell insurance too.
Mm-hmm.
And that's like a big farce where it's like, I'm not, these views and opinions do not reflect on the JLP network or anybody.
Thank you, sir.
But they're going to keep making you pay to a point where when you go to cash out, it's not really there. And I think that what we're going through now is kind of like, this is how I learned it, just watching it through the insurance, watching it through the renting industry, which there should never be an industry that makes you rent. I think it's BS. But no, it's just the trick. That's all I really got on it. I think you kind of drove a lot of that home.
I stay unsure exactly how to exactly approach it, but I'm familiar with some of the topics here, throwing out what I knew. But it really is no take, because again, a part of me is like, I don't know if that should happen anymore. Like that lady, that video I saw of that lady, she's dumb. She got herself in that in a dumb contract. But it's like the drug dealer and the drug user situation. Yeah, the drug dealers are responsible, but they're dealing drugs. You know what I'm saying?
And also, you're right. And they're not going to sell you what drugs you don't want. If you're a meth head, they're not going to try to sell you heroin. They're going to go with something that you want. And that's the same thing in the industry. We all want an automobile. We all want a place to live, you know, so they're only selling us what we want. But then when you choke the market, you can drive the price up, supply and demand, and then it's bureaucracy. I don't know. I'm sounding like, yep, perfect. Thank you. Yeah, and it should end. I think that's what we're going through now. I mean, I'm Q-tarded, so I think a lot of stuff's kind of, it's just a movie we're watching, and we need to pay attention because if things do go the right way, we need to make sure we never let the country slip again. That's kind of what I'm getting at everything, but these views do not reflect on the JLP network, anything of that nature. Yep.
Man, always a pleasure, Steven. Nice to hear from you, man.
Yeah, thanks, bro. I'll be in touch.
Call me again.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, where was that video I saw? I thought it was somewhat interesting. Where was that? Student. I'm a student. Where did I put that? Where did I put that? Hold on. I bet you I can find it. Oh, I found it. This is the video I saw.
Then I make the mistake of going in to check what my student loan balance is. And every time I am shook and I'm disappointed and I'm heartbroken just looking at the numbers. But it's fucking insane. I pay almost $900 towards my student loans, my Parent Plus student loans, every month. And I was just doing the math, like comparing the principal amount with the interest and like the amount of money I've paid. I looked at what the balance was that, I guess the last time I checked was in January actually. So the balance was like still over 100K. But then when I did the math for the balance now, the only difference is like almost $1,400. So I've only brought down the total by $1,400, even though I have been paying almost $1,000 every month. And that is how we all get fucked over by interest.
It's like, I don't desire to gloat or anything. It's just fact. She's learning now what interest is. 11 months later, right? 11 months after she last checked, which was probably years after she's done with schooling and all that, and she's got this loan. She's now learned she learned what interest is. She just learned how interest works. So this is the video I saw that I was mentioning with the last caller, and when I see this again, it's like, am I tripping? When you pay minimums, when you pay very little, I don't know exactly how the math plays out for her. I don't know what her interest rate is and all that, but if you don't pay enough, like you gotta pay. If you pay minimums and very little, you'll barely ever, depending on your interest rate, you're not going to pay that off. It's going to be a very long time, and you're going to pay so many times over the initial price of whatever you loaned. So definitely dumb, right? Like, again, I can't get with we got to save these people, subsidize them and all that. Like, she made that mistake, but I do think to myself, the government might have a vested interest. It might have an interest in stopping this. and using the power of the state to do it. Like I'm willing to talk about it. I think they have an interest in this, in not letting the citizenry get themselves, in a sense. It sounds a little bit maybe too much maybe on the government, but there's a time and place for certain things, I think, with the government. I think this is one of them. Or maybe stopping future people from getting into particular. I mean, $900 every month, right? And her balance only went down barely $1,000, like $1,400. Obviously, she's made a huge mistake, but that you're telling me the people who gave her that loan didn't know that? So that's what I'm saying. They might have an interest in stopping this from happening more. You know what I mean? But yeah, some are a little bit further. It's like, this is usury. This is like, we gotta like deal with like the government's gotta like break these companies up or go in some sort of way. I don't know exactly, because some of that thinking is like mired in feeling bad for these people, like they didn't do this to themselves on some level. So that's where I'm at with it. I'm just being honest. But our government, what's the government supposed to do? I mean, they're supposed to, right, protect the border, protect their people. Some basic ways is like, okay, let me look at the sheets. Wow, that is a lot of our people in these quasi scams going on. It's like, at the least, can we educate them? Can we try something here? Let's try something. Like, can we have you have PSAs and education campaigns and everything else. Can we try one on financial literacy? Just like, hey, this is how interest works. Anyways, I'm just trying to be creative here. Okay. Okay. Incredible. Solid mods. And everybody in the chat, thank you so much for all the support. Very nice. Let's keep going here. Hold on. Jermaine, man, make sure you're sitting in that first class seating. I do appreciate your coffee. buymeacoffee.com/anchorbaby. In fact, let's check in on first class. Hold on. Let's check in on first class.
Sleep well.
How you doing, ballers in first class? Getting cozy? First class seating, you gotta love it. That's crazy. That is the image of opulence. Absolute opulence. Let's check in on cabin 2. First class seating in the Ballers Lounge. So cozy. Oh, oopsies. That was scuffed, sorry. So cozy. You're blinking. You got something in your eye, but you're cozy. Very nice. Thank you for being a baller and supporting the channel, supporting the show. Jermaine says, shout out to one of the greatest shows on this side of heaven. That's big, man. Thank you. Right on. First class. Okay. Shall we continue here? Did you guys see this one? Y'all see this one? Y'all see this one?
This is why you need to hear about Angela Walker.
This is, they only got AI videos on this one. So they don't even have news videos on this one yet. Don't know if they even will. They only got AI videos on this.
This is why you need to hear about Angela Walker. Her past shocked a city, but her election just made history. Second chances don't get more real than this. Angela Walker's win in Bangor, Maine has everyone talking.
That's not Angela Walker, by the way. That's not her.
Over 20 years ago, she pleaded guilty to manslaughter after a fatal fight in Old Orchard Beach. 10 years in prison, 13 years rebuilding her life. Now, she's a city councilor. Walker is open about her past battles: addiction, homelessness, regret. Today, she works helping others in recovery. Supporters call her victory a testament to personal change. Critics
That's not Angela Walker.
say her record should have disqualified her.
That's Angela Walker.
In Bangor, though, the law says anyone can run, even with a felony. Now, Walker promises to focus on homelessness, cleaner streets, and safer neighborhoods. She's not tied to any political party. Her life experience, she says,
What's up, American Native?
helps her understand Bangor's toughest problems. Her election sparks one big question. Should your past define your future? What do you think? Redemption or risk?
Did you even catch any of that? Don't you just like tune it out? Is that almost like a natural response inside of us? Like, that's a robot. Okay, I'm barely listening to that. Did we evolve? Hey, atheist, did we evolve that? Did we evolve that in evolution? Was there an evolutionary reason that we evolved that? Like, oh, we just tune out robot voices and shrill women voices. Usually a sign of danger. Usually like bright colors on a frog. Stay away, right? Meet Angela Walker. She was just elected to Bangor, Maine City Council. She was previously convicted of manslaughter and sentenced to 10 years for killing a tourist, allegedly because he called her a racist name. He was found severely beaten and suffocated with sand stuffed down his throat. That's Angela Walker, but that was 10 years ago. That's just Angela Walker, but that was 10 years ago, guys. Okay? What are you going to judge? She says that's behind her. That's her past. And you know what? On that, that's true. You could have killed somebody in your so-called past. That doesn't necessarily mean that's who you are today. In fact, it wasn't even who you were then. It's something you did. Why is definitely an interesting question. And I think there is an answer, by the way. So for you you killers out there who are listening to me, you know, you didn't do it, right? There's a why. There's a why, though. There's a why. Something drove you to it, okay? There's a responsibility there. But it's not how the world makes you think. And so I wouldn't necessarily judge her like that. It could be very well that she ain't that killer. Which, by the way, that's a pretty crazy crime, huh? That's pretty rare. Like, you don't go around killing people. Like, that's still pretty rare, especially out of anger and all that. Like, sure, murder and all that. Now, this is like a little bit more, even further in the like more understandable world, because it's an altercation. I think alcohol was involved. They're angry. Angry people fighting in the streets. That's where you really get people hurt. And where they didn't necessarily mean it. They were mad. And so the story goes that there was some altercation between her, and she was dating some guy. And her and this guy beat this guy to death. And suffocated him with sand. A Canadian tourist. Don't know what started it off. That's just what happened. She went to jail for that. She was initially charged with something like manslaughter or something. For being, and the guy that she was with was the one that got charged with murder. And it was then during his questioning that he basically, you know, rats on her and gives them evidence and testimony and all that, that allowed the cops to actually upgrade her to murder and perjury. And it was the killing of an individual, a Canadian named Derek Rogers. That's pretty much the details I have of that. Here's the thing. you think, well, she went through the system, she's reformed, etc. She says that's her life behind her. She doesn't think of that. And you're like, doesn't even Jesse say that? Doesn't that make sense, Nick? Come on. Some of you are like, she will kill again, absolutely no doubt about it. But isn't that a judgment? Isn't that a judgment? Put it like this. What tells you more about who she is today other than this? She was sponsored by the politically progressive main profit organization Food and Medicine. She's a progressive? So she didn't learn her lesson? Oh, so she's a progressive? Oh, okay. So it's still somebody else's fault. It's still it's still somebody else's fault. Right? Oppression, progressivism. So it's still somebody else's fault. Did she learn anything? I don't trust that. Anyone with anger is a murderer. You heard Jesse say it. You've read it in the Bible. Any person with anger is capable of murder. They are murdering daily in their minds and inside. And then you go on 10 years later after jail and all that. You could learn your lesson, but you go around. I need to be a progressive. I don't think you learned I don't think you learned anything. And I think at that point you could say this is a deduction, not a judgment, right? Doom Jesus. But that made me think a little bit about just the quality of person running things, etc., and just your average person and the anger they harbor. I just see it, man. I'll just do random average things like go to a 7-Eleven, go to the bank, go to the post office, and I'll say hello to this person, look at that person, and everywhere I'm looking, I'm gathering the data, and the conclusion is, man, people are like on edge and angry. Anyways. But yeah, she's running things. City council. This is just like one side of it, right? Oh, angry. Maybe if she got so mad about the racism thing. If she got mad over the racism thing to the point of killing someone like that's who's running things. That's how you get a Mamdani. You got true haters, like avowed haters, saying it out loud. I said this the other day to somebody, and they were a little shocked. Like they didn't believe me that Mamdani said it. But he wants to tax white neighborhoods. Like that's what he says. But anyways, they just look at it and they talk it and their responses. I'm looking at the way they talk to the post office lady, and it's like, amazing. What can I say, folks? What can I say, folks? I hope you've been enjoying yourselves. I'm gonna try that. Everything is fake. Wait, that sounds like something I shouldn't do. Everything is fake. Try and walk in believing that everybody loves you and thinks you are amazing. Trust me, it makes a big difference. I don't know if you want to encourage me like that. I'll become really insufferable then. No, I'm joking. I'm messing around. Nah. We're messing around. Everybody loves a confident person who's just like chill. Like it gives them confidence. It gives them stability. They're like, geez, I don't know why. I feel safe around this person. No, I know what you mean. Truth is, it's all projection. You can use it to build whatever world you like. Deep. My chatters be thinking. My chatters be thinking. We got Texas on the air. How you doing?
What up, Nicholas?
Oh, is it John?
No.
Yeah, Brian. How you doing, sir?
Brian. Yeah, it's Brian from Texas. So let me ask you something, man. What is your thoughts on marriage? Biblical marriage. Is it necessary or not? What do you think?
I don't know. I don't think it's necessary.
Okay, so then what's the problem with just, running around and getting what you can then? Just screwing, you got one, you like to come around and all this and everything.
Because it pollutes the spirit.
Okay, but what if your spirit is already pretty much just fucked? Like it's just polluted regardless. You're not really going to be, might as well just build up from where you're at and just keep your favorite ones around, right?
How would more pollution build you up?
Well, I mean, okay, so you're not, more pollution, you're immune to the pollution.
That's what you
think. At
think.
that point, you're just immune to it.
That's what you
whatever, think. You just, no? Well, then I'm all ears, man. Give me a better explanation on how to live. So.
Let me ask, would you want to, well, let me put it like this. You kind of agree with that characterization of it being spiritual pollution?
Mm-hmm.
Well, knowing that, does that cause you to want to not have the spiritual pollution? If you could get rid of it, overcome it, or whatever, would you?
You mean have a bitch that doesn't just like run around and act like shit? Sure, but I mean, they don't exist in a world where someone who's got a quote unquote.
No, that's not what I'm talking about. I'm talking about you. I'm talking about you.
Spirit.
Yeah, I'm talking about you, the individual, not nobody else.
Me, Brian from Texas, the individual.
And by the way, I thought you were somebody else, so I didn't mean to call you Brian. And it looked like you didn't want to say your name, so I didn't want to dox you, so I just left it alone.
Not tripping, Bubba. Not tripping.
Nice.
So
man.
yeah. What do you think, man? It's just it's great. It's great when you have a chick that'll come around and this and this and this and that. But then after a while, you just start saying, okay, am I cut out? Am I cut out to keep one? Or do I just bounce around and piss them all off and then get them all, and then have them all loving me again a couple of weeks later? And just that recycling like that, and just get at peace with that instead of worry about the whole marriage thing. Because you could get a whole lot of shit done without having to just focus your energy and making sure that this godly woman and, yada, 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 all that good stuff. You know what I mean?
Well, I'll say this, that I don't believe it's a requirement to get married. I find that even a silly notion. That's just doesn't even make sense. Like, that's the wrong direction. A marriage has to flourish. It has to almost blossom from the ground up, as in this is the obvious next step.
Sounds so gay.
But consider what I'm saying here. I know that blossom has to do with flowers, and that's bothered you, but put it like this. It's like the ground up. I'm talking about sprouting. I'm talking about things growing up naturally because the next step was there. You had the money, you had the person, etc. When you live trying to fit an ideal, which is like the other direction, like from the top down. Hey, you need to fit this ideal, so make yourself fit this marriage. That's why things aren't working. I mean, think about it. That's so unnatural. You're like, okay, I heard I got to do this, but I don't even know how it is. Instead of letting it be natural. So I don't think you have to get married. That's a weird thing, right, as a requirement. So I think you could drop that personally if I was you.
Oh, sure, absolutely. But But check.
But you were saying
But trying to find a bitch, trying to find a woman. Okay, excuse me, a woman that is just this, wonderful little and all this stuff and all that. You can't. You're not going to. And if you're already spiritually polluted, regardless of how you got spiritually polluted, doesn't matter. You're not going to find that because she's going to sense in you that you're a piece of shit. She's going to say, nope, not doing that. So you might as well just, get what you can, learn how to do what you got to do as a man, and just, hey, let them come and go, right?
I mean, if you got it figured out, why are you asking me about it? If it's working for you.
I don't know. What do you think, man? I'm just looking for some reflection. What do you think?
Yeah, And I think it's a great convo, by the way. The reason why I said that, why are you asking me, blah, blah, blah. The reason I said that, more not even really like not wanting you to talk. I think this is a good conversation. But the picture I'm painting is more like, it sounds like if it's working, isn't that a good question? If it's working for you, which it almost sounds like it, then basically my question is it's almost a way of me trying to get at to what's the problem, where is the problem in your life? Because there may be one. Because if it's not working, here's where you could describe it. Because otherwise it's working for you, right? You're not married and you're just going around like you said. And if it's working for you, or do you disagree? Is it not working for you?
Not until you catch that one that does something to you. Then you start wanting to reevaluate. Should I have? Should I not anymore? Should I reiterate? Should I try to, all that good stuff. Should I try to make myself be as good as I think I should have been before? Even though now, even if I find the chick that can reciprocate in this way towards me that I want, for the one to stick around and hell, make those white babies and la-di-da-di-da. What's the point? I'm a colossal piece of shit. No matter how much money I would ever make, I'm going to be a colossal piece of shit, and they're going to be able to sense it. They're going to be able to know, right? Right?
That actually is, I think in there is actually kind of a good question. I mean, let me ask you this. Because you're asking like, well, you're basically asking.
I'm all ears, hombre.
No, for sure. I just kind of want to reflect on this out loud, thinking about this out loud. Because put it like this: you're asking me, Nick, should I try and be as good as I thought I should have been? Did I make a mistake going down this path or whatever? Should I turn back, change my ways, live the life I was supposed to live? But where are all those ideas coming from?
Oh, I mean, if we're supposed to have the one woman and all.
Who said that?
You're supposed to have the one woman. You're supposed to have the godly, and then we'll go forth and multiply, and you're supposed to. But if you've already fucked everything up, then why keep trying to stress yourself to do that?
And we can get to that.
She ain't coming.
But where did you get?
She's not coming.
Right.
She's damn sure not going to come.
Well, I don't know. Well, we can get to that. How about we get to that? The question was, why do you think? What was the question? The question was, where did you get those ideas? The ideas of, I need to go back and get on the different path that I was supposed to get on. Where are those ideas coming from?
I don't know, man. I guess it's just feelings.
So then how do you know that? So then how do you know that there's a path to go to? There's another. How do you know that there's another path to go to? How do you know that?
Because there always is.
How do you know that?
I don't know.
So then where'd you get that idea?
Don't know, man. It could be. You could be right.
What am I right about?
You could be right that there's just another.
That was
path,
a question.
Period. Look, man. I'm peaking off of this psilocybin. I have got to go, my friend. I gotta go find.
I didn't know you were high, man.
Yes, sir.
Call me when you're sober, sir.
Right. No, I don't even. I'm just joking. I don't do drugs, brother. I'm Brian from Texas. I don't do drugs. I'll talk to you later.
What you say? Take care, man. Call me again, man.
Yeah.
Hey, Chad, sue me. When someone tells me I'm peaking on psilocybin, It sounds like you're on drugs. I mean, what? No, I'm not on drugs, bro. Chill. My bad. I could have fooled me. There was some threads there in that convo that was cool to maybe pull on. But I appreciate your call, sir. Call me again. What do you think, chat? That was just one thing I wanted to ask him about. Where was he getting those ideas? But there's other things too, like, because number one, where was he getting those ideas? What paths to go to? What other paths to live? What is this? That's made up. That's made up. It's a made up thought to keep you in hell, to keep you just like lost in a loop. There's no other path to go to. There's no other past. There's no other life path you were supposed to live. You're on it. All you have is today. All you have is now. And also your life has nothing to do with those women, because he's saying, oh, I want to live, what was he saying? He's like, I want to just like live, I guess I could have had that life where I was married, but now it's too late for me. And, I'm fine with just sleeping around with different girlfriends, but until you get that one. I don't know. I wanted to ask him more about his life, because that's rarely true. That's rarely true where you're just fine and your life is good and nothing's wrong with you. It's other people. And then you made the mistake of dealing with them. That's rarely the story. Something's going on with you. Something you did, something you missed. So that's just rarely ever the story, if ever the story. And so those were the threads I wanted to pull on. Thanks for your call. Very nice. We got big super chats, I think. Hold on. Thank you so much for the support. Coming in strong. That's Alicia, who says, keep grinding, bruv. Alicia, please join the fellas and the few ladies also in the Ballers Lounge right now. Yes, there are women in the Ballers Lounge. Didn't I already tell you? Neither Jew nor Gentile. No man or woman. You're either a baller or you're not. And Alicia, you're a baller. I appreciate your support. Thank you. Make sure you're sitting in your seat. In fact, let's check in on first class. Wow. The luxury. The opulence. Pff, whose little legsies are those? You're having a little grand old time. Look how cozy you are. Psh. Look at you. You can't stop. What? You can't stop. You're having a little grand old time kicking your little feetsies. People tell me don't say that. People tell me that I shouldn't say that word. But what else do you call what we just saw? What else do you call that? You're going to tell me I'm wrong? You guys are making me laugh in the chat. Amazing. All right, so let's see here. Whoa, hold up. Let's not move on too quickly. Karen, coming in strong. The lovely Karen, please make sure you're sitting in the Ballers Lounge with the best of them. She says, let me up in that Ballers Lounge, though. Big support, big super chats. We do appreciate the support. Make sure you're sitting amongst the ballers. Inculcated amongst the ballers. What's it called? In the sky of witnesses. But like about ballers. What do you call that in the Bible? When a black activist Okay, chat, you got to help me with this one. When a black activist dies and they go to heaven, what is that? You know, when then they're in the sea of witnesses or something like that? What is it? Chat, what's the term? It's specific. It's a little bit specific. When a black activist type person, Obama-like individual or quasi-Obama dies and a Christian speaks on it, that person is then in the something, the something of witnesses or the something of committees or something Christian, and it might be a little bit black. And I'm stuck on it. And something tells me chat knows. Am I stretching this out too long, maybe? Maybe chat doesn't know. It's time to move on. You're scaring the ladies, Nick. They don't know what you're talking about. Purgatory. The sea of sorrow. No, it's not those. It's time to move on. Canonized? No. Now I need to find this. What if I asked ChatGPT that insane question? What if I asked ChatGPT that insane question? Where do No, that's an insane question. What's that Christian-y term for when people die and they are in something like the sea of witnesses or something like that? You're probably thinking of the great cloud of witnesses. It comes from Hebrews 21. See, I wasn't making it up. The great cloud of witnesses. Hebrews 12:1. My bad. I'm sorry. I shouldn't spend this much time on this. Therefore, since we are surrounded by such a great cloud of witnesses, let us throw off everything that hinders and the sin that so easily entangles, and let us run with perseverance that race marked out for us. Whatever that means. They say that when a black activist dies, they're like, they've gone and joined the great cloud of witnesses. C-Sal said purgatory. They went on and joined the great cloud of witnesses. Oh, they on up there. They on up there with Martin Luther King and the great cloud of witnesses. Oh, yes, sir.
But the writer says, look, this is already like real. You have come to Mount Zion, to the city of the living God, the heavenly Jerusalem, and to innumerable angels in festal gathering. Okay, there's your cloud of witnesses right there.
I clicked a random video. No, this is not a rabbit hole we need to go down.
By so great a cloud of witnesses, let us also lay aside every weight and the sin which clings so closely.
Anyways.
I'm Father Mark, and this is a blind water taste test. Evian. Holy water.
We're holy guys! Of course we embrace the intersection of the Catholic Church and technology.
How do you like to baptize?
Well, when I baptize, I don't just dip.
You don't dip?
Well, we all dip. But when I dip, I also scoop.
Oh.
Get ready with me to read Last Rites. Jeannie Garoppolo just called me, and apparently her father's a total goner. Coffee time. So before God deletes his soul forever, I'm gonna upload him to Catholic Cloud.
Priest TikTok is crazy. Catholic priest TikTok is crazy.
The Catholic Cloud. Gochujang spicy Eucharist.
Yo, I did that when I was a kid. Obviously, I just thought I was edgy or something and I'm so irreverent. But I went to Catholic school and I remember I put Nutella on the Eucharist. I was like, yo, man, this body of Jesus, this body of Christ is real bland, fellas. I don't know. I thought it was funny. I didn't know I'd be a Christian later in life. Chat. I still don't think I was being blasphemous, though.
The Eucharist.
Spicy gochujang Eucharist.
Oh, yeah, that's legit. That actually happened to a treacherous friend of mine. This is the day in the life of a virtual reality priest. Meet my father, Mark Avatar. Now that the Catholic Church has created a cloud-based virtual realm, I'm able to do digital confessions.
Forgive me, Father, for I've sinned. I don't really fuck with my wife anymore, and something tells me I'm gonna be unfaithful tonight.
This is a tough one.
All right, that's silly. These people are so funny.
Bad news, folks. I'm dead. Kinda. Basically, I electrocuted my neurons and San Junipero'd myself into Catholic cloud. Fortunately, I have many virtual parishioners to keep me company. My virtual parishioners have turned on me. I'm surviving, but I need your help. Please purchase Father Mark coin, and I can use it to buy my way back into my real body. I've
Yo, this TikTok priest has lore.
got confession to make. I think being stuck in digital purgatory in order to inflate the price. Father,
You got us. Young blasphemer, you think? It was just a joke. I bet you God laughed. I bet you God thought it was funny. He's like, he doesn't even know I'm real. He's just trying to make it funny with his friends. What a silly child. He's got his whole life ahead of him. What a silly child. You eat that Nutella. He probably laughed. Because I wasn't like putting Nutella on the Eucharist. Wait, hold on. Hold on. I was putting Nutella on the Eucharist a little bit because I was judging him. Not that much. Like, I stopped judging them because when I was a kid, I stopped going to church and stuff with them. And I was like, you guys are crazy. This is weird. And then I had like judgment on them. And I was like, I'm a smart atheist. But that was short-lived. By the time I put Nutella on the Eucharist, I was just messing around in high school. I didn't have a chip on my shoulder over Christianity and like my family's Christian and I stopped or something. At that point I had like gone over all that. Like I was an atheist, sure, and like that stayed with me, but I wasn't like outwardly like mad at them and like doing all that. But now I'm examining my heart when I put Nutella on the Eucharist. And I'm thinking, I don't know if was God laughing? My heart was light and jovial. I wasn't harboring resentment to the Christians, I don't think. Because it's not the Nutella on the Eucharist that would have made God not too happy. It would have been my unrepentant heart. Now look at you. Chad, I'm having a moment, okay? I'm just reflecting, okay? Sue me. I thought Catholic priest wasn't overweight. Is he eating all the communion wafers? You know you can get the body of Christ in wholesale? Like that's how that works. Catholic, where was it? Catholic supplies. I don't know. Let me find one in California. There's a bunch of them. Yeah. You can get the blood of Christ. You can get the body of Christ on wholesale, on sale on these Catholic supplies websites and stuff. Like, I'm not joking. Sacramental. Here we go. There you go. Look, $34. You get the chalice. Bada bing, bada boom. I used to know a guy who ran like a brick and mortar Catholic supply store in Hamilton, Ontario. And yeah, he'd show me the like the packs, the like wafer packs of the body of Christ on sale for $34.99. Ready for your Sunday mass. Baptism, where is it? Here it is. Confirmation, communion. Come on, give me the good stuff. Where are the wafers? Church supplies. It's not the body of Christ until it's consecrated, says Kaz. All right, my bad. I guess. What if I just search church supply? One last thing. One last search. Yes. Low gluten bread of life. Here they are. Hosts. They're called hosts. That's what they're called. I forgot that. Yes. Here, 20 bucks for 50 count low gluten hosts. Made in accordance with canon law. Ingredients, starch, flour, and water. Produced in Poland. Your altar bread, okay? You get your low gluten hosts, hosts of the body of Christ, right? I got mine coming in the mail. I think we got Minnesota on the air. Who am I speaking with?
This is Jaime.
What's up, Jaime? How you been?
Pretty good, and yourself?
All is well, sir. Go ahead.
Hey, that was a funny story with the woman and the high interest.
Oh, you like
with
that?
the student loans. Yeah, man. It's a story as old as time.
Tell me.
I had some student loans myself. They were pretty small. It took me a long time to pay them off because I hated them. You know what I'm saying?
Tell me what you mean.
Well, I didn't like looking at the account. The account of.
That's kind of
so
deep.
I carried those on.
Yep.
I carried those on deferment for 10 years, man. Something like that.
Out of just like
Before I finally
pain
paid
from
them
not
off.
wanting to even look at it.
Right. Yeah.
Damn. That's...
And mine were relatively low, comparing to that woman's too.
Yeah.
So I went to community college where I lived, but that lady's a sucker. They got her good.
They got her, right?
Yeah, they got her, man. They convince you to go out of state. If you go in-state, you get in-state college prices, tuition.
Mm-hmm.
It's a lot cheaper. A lot cheaper for in-state. And you know that, right?
I didn't actually. I don't know if I ever thought about
it. Yeah, I don't think I knew that either, but I wasn't interested in school too much. But
I see.
Yeah,
I mean, it makes sense.
They sucker the kids and the parents, because she said she had a Parent Plus loan. That's a loan that your parents get to pay for your tuition, and they just call it Parent Plus. And she's
I
a
heard
sucker
that,
for
and I
paying
didn't know
that.
what it
You
was. Tell me again what that is.
A Parent Plus loan. See, you take out the loans for your own education, and maybe you get like a Pell Grant and stuff like that, and financial aid, which is just the government co-signing your loan.
Wait, so I still don't get it. What's a Parent Plus loan?
A Parent Plus loan is a loan that the parent gets from the bank for your tuition.
Oh.
The
so your
parent
parents are
signs their
involved.
own name. Yeah, but your name isn't on it. It just goes to your tuition.
Yeah,
and so
it
why is
allows
she paying
eligible
that?
parents to borrow money to cover their dependent undergraduate child's education.
Yeah, why would she pay?
Yeah, what the?
Her parents' stupidity. I wouldn't.
Fascinating, man.
But this is what they told you, didn't they? You got to go to college. You got to go to college to get a good job. And that they told you, but you didn't go to a big fancy college and spend $200,000, did you?
I didn't. No, I didn't.
Oh, thank God.
I didn't do that at all.
The Lord was protecting you.
Maybe. I mean, maybe.
Well, then you get.
What I was protected from was like just not doing what everybody was doing. I still could have maybe benefited, but at least how my life was, I was primed for, and I was about to basically pull the trigger on Just do what you like the most right now. Right out of right before high school ends. It's like, okay, I like playing guitar. Are you sure I should be doing this? And so I'm glad I didn't do that.
Yeah. Yeah, ask some of your friends.
I did
how
go
much
to a year. I
student
did do a
loans they got
semester
left.
at a university of. At one point, I thought there was one point where I thought to myself, man, maybe I should be doing school or something. Like I almost want to prove it to myself I could, and I did a semester at McMaster in Hamilton, Ontario, and then I just quit. I was like, I was doing great in Greek and whatever classes I was doing, and I was like, all right, cool. I don't know what I'm gonna do with this. I'm done, and so I stopped.
Good for you.
It wasn't like a clear plan.
Yeah.
It was like I realized I was just trying to prove to myself, like some ego thing that like I just wanted to prove that, like, am I stupid or not? Can I actually do this? Should I have been doing this? But I didn't. I had no plan, so I stopped after a semester.
Yeah, it's the brainwashing that they want the goyim to go for.
You said what?
They want the goyim to get student loans.
It seems like a trap. I mean, whatever that loan was, that video we saw, that lady, I'm just thinking to myself, I don't know how that industry works, but the person who gave her that loan, they must have known to some degree.
Yeah, they sell loans.
They
That's
knew
how
what they were doing,
that's
right?
how
Like,
these
I don't
people
know how
make
that
money.
works, but
Yeah, it's a great grift, and it's legal too. That's the best part for them. But yeah, you get these interest, these loans where you only pay the interest, and that's a feature. Don't worry about it. You don't have to pay the principal and have these high payments. Just pay the interest, and you get the low payment. Huh? That's a great deal when you're stupid. And we're all, we're all stupid unless our parents teach us finance. So
That's
I'm
like
not
forbidden
judging
knowledge.
her or anything.
Totally.
I'm just speaking as a person who also kind of was stupid with finance.
Fair enough, man.
Yeah.
I understand.
But I got a credit card in the mail the other day from American Express. I'm thinking about applying.
You just
40
tell me the number.
45%
Oh,
a
yeah.
month.
That's a nice big
That
number.
sounds good, huh?
I mean, 45 is bigger than
$6,000.
45 is bigger than 30 and bigger than 15. I think that's good. That's a bigger number.
And after I spend $6,000, I get 100,000 points. Huh?
What? That's like free money. You're not gonna mess that up.
Right.
You're
No,
you're
not gonna
not
miss
you're
a
not an
payment.
average irresponsible person who's gonna mess that up.
I'm
You're
gonna
be
pay it
very
off
on
every
top of
month.
that, right? That's why you even got that credit
This is-
card with 45% interest, because you're a responsible person. You're obviously gonna be on top of that, right?
And it's gold. It's a gold card.
Oh, no way. Psh, you're basically rich. You're basically an elite.
But it's not their fault. It's not the bank's fault. It's not it's not their fault. It's my fault if I do it.
Yeah.
And
that's
so
the
that was
thing
a
that
very
gets
good
me.
point
Please
that
keep
you
going.
made. And that's an honest point. It was stupid of her to get it. It was stupid of her parents to let her get it. It was a dumb move for her. And
Yeah.
she's got to pay it off. She's got to get 2-3 jobs and pay it off.
And stop paying
There's no other
$900
way out of
bucks.
it.
Pay a bigger payment.
Yeah, she got to pay $2,700 a month.
Right? For
To
I
get
don't
out
know
of
what
this
her
thing.
interest rate is, but that's clearly not enough.
So, well, shoot, man. You working overtime, huh?
Oh yeah, we're streaming, keeping it going.
Well, you're
Yeah,
getting
yeah.
no tax on overtime.
Let's go. Thank you, Trump.
Well, don't forget that you don't pay tax on the premium part. So if you're making $10 an hour and you get 15 overtime, you don't pay tax on the $5 portion. You still pay taxes on the $10 portion.
I see.
You get that?
Interesting detail. I didn't know that.
Okay. All right. Well, be good.
Sir.
Have a good weekend.
Always a pleasure. Call me again, man.
Bye.
Peace. Yeah. Yep. What can I say? What can I say, folks? Hope you've been enjoying the show so far. buymeacoffee.com/anchorbaby. Big coffees. Thank you so much for all my supporters. In fact, more coffee's coming in. You know what that means. You're no longer a mere mortal. You're no longer just a mere passenger. You're a baller. You're a baller. You better start acting like it. You're a baller. You better sit in the baller's seat in the baller's lounge. Jermaine with the back-to-back coffees on buymeacoffee.com/anchorbaby. As always, a pleasure, man. Thank you for being a supporter and being a baller. Shot caller. Jermaine says, hey, Nick, have you seen this video of Drewski dressed as a black Hebrew Israelite? LOL. Show me, because that sounds hilarious already. I'm familiar with Drewski a little bit. I've seen his content.
Black man. That's right. That's right.
He always does pretty darn good impressions, I gotta say. Whatever group he's making fun of, it's like he kind of hits with the like impression. Even if you take it as nasty or whatever, it's funny.
Black man. That's right. That's right. That's right. That's right. That's right. That's right. That's right.
They're always so aggressive.
That's right.
Streets, these spiritual dudes on the street be aggressive.
That's right. Receive this word, white man.
That's right.
That's right. Celebrate Christmas, don't you,
Brother.
brother? And it's a white holiday. White holiday. Black power. Black power. Black power. That's right. That's right.
That's right.
Black is power. Black power.
Oh no. Oh no. He got the snow bunny.
Can I speak to you, please, man? Lost the number.
Excuse me, brother. I need to speak to you, sir.
You feel as this is right? Boys, you need to come join us, bro. That's right. You need to come join us. That's right. That's right. We are not equal. That's right. Our ancestors did not live for this. That's right. Poison. Poison. Poison.
Poison.
You will not stop our brothers or sisters from the Constitution. That's right. That's right. I'd rather be in the cell than to be in hell. That's right. Free man. Free man. Free man. Free man. Free man. Free man. That's right. John and Lorinda, chapter 16. That's right. And white man will beneath. Okay. Beneath.
And the repeating in the back is just too good.
That's right. I do not need help. I will assist myself. What form of payment for this, please? Is it because my skin is black? We out here bringing our people back to the law, statute.
Wearing those stupid silks.
The commandments, man.
Your silks are wrinkled. Hey, your silks are wrinkled, man.
We do not follow rules made by white men. Damn. We do not follow rules made by white men.
Be quiet, Edomite. Be quiet, Edomite. Pull up the scripture. Pull up Samuel's 12:2-31. Chapter. And it reads, thou shalt Edomite, will be under our boots. Say it again. Say it again. Shut up, Edomite. It says in the Bible, my Lord God says, you will be under my boot. You are the son of Edom. I do not have to listen to you. That's silly. Thank you for that, Jermaine. What a mess. I see them yelling in the streets of LA sometimes. They're so mad. They're so hateful. They're so hateful, man. We got Daniel, Texas on the air. Thank you for your call.
I'm on the air.
Yes, sir.
Hey, how are you, Nick?
All's well, Daniel. Thanks for your call.
Hey, I've been real. I normally call into James's show, but I've been real busy, and I saw that you're on, and I just wanted to talk to you about video games, man.
All right, what do you want to talk about?
All right. Well, I don't know how much can I talk about video games without, like peddling, like saying, "Oh, this is the game to get." You know what I mean?
Oh,
Am I
no,
able to
that's
do
fine. No, you could do, like, if you want to name a game, you can name a title.
I can name the game.
You can name the game, bro. Name the game. So,
I feel
hey,
like we're
name the
feel
game.
like we're
Don't
gonna
be
do
a coward.
all right. I'm gonna do it. I'm doing it. Here
Don't
we
be a
go.
cuck. Don't be a shill.
Okay, I'm naming them.
Whoa, bro.
Stalker. The Stalker series. Are you familiar? Because I know you played.
Oh, yeah. Big time.
Okay, you get
Stalker?
Yeah, you know what I'm talking about.
Yeah, for sure. It's like definitely. What's the? What would you describe it as? Not an extraction shooter like Tarkov, but it's an open world, right? It's an open world, first person RPG. I think is fair to call it shooter RPG.
Yeah.
But it's super deep. It's awesome.
Yeah, a lot of deep, kind of introspective, philosophical ideas going on.
Setting is like in a post Chernobyl fictional area over there somewhere.
Yeah.
And
So-
it's like, yeah.
So let me tell you something, man. This game series, like, I not only got into the game, but I got into the book that it's based off of, and then there's a movie that is based off of, and then they got the recent game Stalker 2.
Yep.
And I've just been consuming all of this stuff, man, and I can't get enough of it.
Of the Stalker stuff?
Yeah. I mean, how? Because you played the Tarkov game, right?
Yes. Which
But you didn't come
is
into
inspired by
Tarkov
this.
through
No.
Stalker.
Nope. I played Stalker after getting into Tarkov, after hearing so much about it, and I've only
So
briefly tried it.
What's your preference?
Oh man,
What's your preference?
I want to say. Well, my preference is Tarkov because but it's not even that anymore. Honestly, I feel like they're never gonna fix it, so I haven't played any Tarkov. But that's a different conversation. I think the developers gave up. Like, they cannot fix the game. But that's a different conversation. Preference, I mean, it's just, look, if I do find myself playing some video games, something I just want to jump into a match, 20 minutes or something. So I'm really only running Tarkov just to shoot up a little bit. And then what can I say? So that's just that's not a commentary on what's a better game. That's just like, Nick, what are you playing? If you play anything, it's like, what's your preference? That's the answer, I guess.
It sounds like you're more into the multiplayer thing.
Yeah, no, it's because it's
Is that
competitive.
the
I
deal?
want to shit on somebody, and then move on with my life, or get crapped on, and then move on with my life.
I see. You see, I come at it at a totally different angle. I don't do the multiplayer at all.
And why?
So, because I don't think I will do well.
Fair enough.
That's why. I think it will be a waste of my time. Well, I just don't think I'd do well.
No, it's a curve. Yep, for sure.
And as I get older, I can't learn all these different mechanics.
Mm-hmm.
I just feel like I just want something familiar. And multiplayer games, I don't think I'd be able to get that learning curve down.
I hear you, man. Yeah, these people are good on this stuff sometimes.
Yeah. So I go for the self-indulgent solo campaign, existential, philosophical stuff. The artsy stuff.
Man, when you put it like that, it is. It's like enticing me in a sense. Like I'm thinking about when's the last time I had a single player campaign that made me think, that engrossed me. You know, when was the last time that was? It was probably playing Deus Ex.
The original one?
The original one. And now, when it came out or anything, more like maybe like in the last 5 to 10 years. So it was a while ago, but I played the single player Deus Ex original, and I'm like blown away. Like it's just engrossing, the story, everything about it.
I hear that's the case with that game, that people swear by it.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's timeless.
Big time, maybe. Yeah, it's just the themes, you know. But go on.
My problem is Deus Ex is a learning curve as well, isn't it?
It's a little bit different than your classic first-person shooter. The controls are different, but nothing that a single-player campaign head can't learn and enjoy.
Did you play it modded or vanilla?
Vanilla.
Okay.
Some sort of remaster, I think, but yeah.
I have it because I got it, on sale a while back because everybody swears by it.
Yep.
So maybe
it's definitely an older. It's got older game graphics and game mechanics and all that. So if you can't get past that, I don't know. But I'm just trying to remember the last time I had a single player experience that engrossed me, like all that. Yeah, it was then.
But that particular game, the selling point is the storytelling.
Part of it, yeah, I think so.
Yeah, it's obviously not the gameplay. I mean, is it?
It might be somewhat. It's kind of fun, like being all sneaky and stuff. It was a while ago, I have to say.
Okay.
Which
yeah, but you're talking
which lets you know how either there's not that many good single player stuff out there, but I also rarely play them. I really just, if I had more time in the world, I'd play video games, bro. They're fun. They're awesome. They're the best.
Yeah. Yeah, I hear that. Are you? I always wondered. Are you Catholic? You're Catholic, right?
No, I've never called myself Catholic.
Were you raised Catholic?
Oh, but I went to Catholic school. That's maybe what you heard.
Okay, you went to Catholic school.
Yep.
Just to have a better school to go to, or what was it?
That was just the school that I was put in. It was in the area, and I think my mother at the time specifically knew that the Catholic schools in Canada were a little nicer. You know, they're not necessarily private, but they're not completely. It's like a weird thing. They're not exactly like a public school. So I think that was part of the decision making. I went to
So you're saying Canada has public Catholic schools?
It's like a hybrid thing. I don't know how it is now, but I believe the way it was is that they're sort of private in that they get to make their own decisions in their own school boards apart from like the general schooling in Canada, but they receive some tax money, so they had to follow basically like civil rights laws and stuff like that. Not that it's the same as, I don't know if that's what you call them up there, but it's like the same thing, like human rights. And so I was in Catholic school alongside like Sikhs and Muslims and Pakistanis and stuff.
Really?
Yep. But we all wore a Catholic school uniform, and we had to go to mass. We had to
mass on Friday, right?
Yep. We had to go to mass. No, just like once a month. I forget. And we had to go to we had to do like the prayer in the morning, and different things. So it's a weird hybrid thing going on up there.
Did you learn Catholic? Like, did you have a Catholic religion course?
Yes,
when you
that
went to
was.
school?
Yep, that was multiple years, semesters. We had to do that. The last year, you were able to take just world religion, but yeah, you had to do. You had to get like a credit of religion every semester, or every year.
So,
which was Christian and Catholic.
So when the Catholic students that were Catholic were receiving their sacraments like First Communion, was that just? How did that work?
So I went to Catholic elementary school and Catholic high school, and by the time I was in high school, all that stuff was done. So nobody was doing that.
Right. But in the elementary school.
But when I did go to Catholic elementary school, and actually was young enough to do my first communion, to get confirmed.
So you've done it. You've done sacrament.
I've done a few of those. I forget which ones I did. I got confirmed.
Okay.
I got confirmed.
And you received communion.
And yeah, I received communion. I did confession.
Did you? You did reconciliation, and then baptism. You've been baptized.
I was baptized as a child. Yeah, as a child.
So is that the one?
That's what I heard. I heard they
as-
dunked me in the
as a
water as a
Catholic?
baby. I don't remember.
So you don't know if it was a Catholic church that you
No
were
clue.
baptized in?
No clue on that one.
Because for all intents and purposes, you've received sacraments. Which
Am I good? Am I valid?
Yes. If you were baptized in a Catholic church, yes.
Am I going to the pearly gates?
But you don't. If you went to register at a Catholic church and you told them that you received sacraments, they would accept you as a Catholic.
True say. That's interesting.
Yes.
But am I going to the pearly gates?
You have to. Well, there are mortal sins that you have to confess. So Mass is a mortal sin. If you miss Mass, it's a mortal sin.
All right, so I'm not going to heaven. Darn.
You have to go to confession. But that's not my business, man. That's
I
between
understand.
you and-
No, I appreciate
that's
it.
between you and.
Right. That's between me. Yeah. I remember
Actually,
going
no,
to
to be
confession
honest,
as a
none of
kid.
this is-
And
none of this is anybody's business.
Right, I know. I partly think it's somewhat like funny in that you weren't saying I'm going to heaven for that, but some people I think they do. But here's what's funny. I remember going to confession in Catholic schooling in Canada, and I went to and so they brought me in front of the priest. And I remember having a stink on my face because like even before I entered the church, I don't know if I was taught this or what. I just thought it was so wrong that this person was going to hear, I'm supposed to confess to this person. I was like, this is none of your business. I remember having like a stink on my face about it and everything. I was like, and then it was my turn. I was like, I'm not telling you anything. This is none of your business. I remember I had like an attitude.
Well, that means you did something wrong. The rest of us were thinking we gotta make something up.
Oh, make something up? Ooh.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was harboring true guilt maybe.
You probably did something really
I was
bad,
like,
man.
No, I was like, I knew I was like, let me think of what age. I was like pretty much, that was grade 5, grade 6. At that moment, I was like a little ball of, I don't know, just mostly kind of like just trying to just have fun as a kid, I think, but also kind of full of anxieties or whatever, maybe. And I knew it was wrong. That was wrong. I always felt icky. I always felt wrong. Like I wasn't supposed to be that way. So maybe I was holding on to that.
I don't know.
But I thought it was none of their business, man. What, you go to the priest to tell him your sins?
Well, yeah, I do.
What's that do for you?
I've been to confession. It absolves you of your sins. So
And how
if you
so?
You get the so the priest acts as the vessel for Christ, and you go to him with sins, spiritual sins. You know, it's a spiritual absolution, and he gives you a means of penance. So you'll do prayers. You'll say a certain number of Our Fathers and Hail Marys and Glory Bees after your session. But what you do is you go in and you say, "Forgive me, Father, for I have sinned. It has been, 20 years since I've been to confession," right? And then I think he'll pray in Our Father, and then you will tell him, you don't have to talk his ear off, but you say something like, I haven't been going to Mass regularly, or, you tell him your spiritual sin. You tell him your sin. You confess, the thing that is, and it's a sin because, you know that certain things are, you know what the venial sins and the mortal sins are, you know. But the point is, it's an absolution, and that's the idea, is to welcome you back into the good graces of
I kind of get that. Let me ask you this. Do you
Yeah.
ever have to go back?
Okay. Yeah, you can.
So you
can,
go back
you can do
multiple
it.
times for multiple confessions?
Yeah, different confessions, and there's a
So you weren't
there's
serious the first
question
time.
Say that again.
So when you
I didn't hear you.
I'm hearing you're telling me about going in your life multiple times to a priest to confess. And now I'm thinking, well,
sure.
If you do that, but I guess you weren't serious the first time, were you? When you
Well,
first
that's
went to
the-
say
that's
sorry and
the-
confess, you didn't really mean it.
Well, that's the question: is how many times can you confess the same sin over and over again?
Why not just confess it
idea
once?
is-
Why not mean it? Why not when you confess it,
Yeah, you
mean
can.
it and never do it again?
Yeah, you can. You do it for your soul. You know, every man's soul is his own, so he does what he needs.
Fair enough.
For his soul.
No, you know what? I get that. That's something I get about that. There's something I get about, because like even if it's foreign to me, and I may want to judge it and say, well, I don't have to tell a priest my sins and all that. Your reasoning, I can understand, right? It's like a matter of, put it like this. But let's put it simply: you confess, because it even says in the book, it says to repent and confess. Okay, drop it, confess it, realize you're wrong, and move on, right?
Right.
And so, like, that's the part where we can agree. I can get that. But even in that framework, and in the framework of going to a priest to do it, don't you think that having to do it multiple times is just like a dishonest person? Isn't it better to just, live how you're living, whatever? But then when it's time, when you repent, when you come to repent, that's you mean it that time, and you have a new life.
I mean, I don't know. The idea is that that you can do it. You can go and you can go and confess if you've committed a sin. You can go and confess and have a means of which to restore your standing in the church. On a spiritual level.
That's like the church.
Yeah,
That's
on
the
a
Catholic
spiritual
thinking on
level.
this. To
say that again.
So that's the Catholic thinking on this, like to go back into, what did you say? How did you say? To get back in with the church?
The graces of the church.
The graces
of the church. Right. It's basically an absolution of. And you were saying, doesn't it make you dishonest? Well, the idea in the Catholic faith is we are all sinners. We are all sinners. Everybody's a sinner. So we're dishonest. It is what
I
it
get
is.
that.
So is the next man.
Well,
We're
I
very
appreciate that,
penitent.
man. That's actually fascinating. Anything else you want to speak on
Man,
before we
we-
move the wheels?
No, man, I think we got into too much because I was just calling for video games.
Hey, that's true. Daniel, man, can you call me again?
Yeah, sure. All right.
Take care, sir.
All right, bye.
Yeah, I mean, it made me think about a number of things. Not necessarily I don't know if there's a point in backing forthing on something I'm not too knowledgeable about, but here's the things I was thinking. You say something like, the Catholic Church, you were supposed to confess and all this. I think about how old the Catholic Church is, and getting in the graces of the church sounds like nothing to do with God, but it has everything to do with what the church, in my mind, and I know it might be ignorant, what the church's function was, at least in the modern history, right? Going back to even medieval Europe, so to speak, maybe 400 or 500 years ago, talking about the great European monarchies, right? Christendom returns, New Rome returns. What do they call it? The Holy Roman Empire, way after Rome. They just called it that. And they're bringing back Christianity in Europe, blah, blah, blah. And I think about how the church at that time was a huge stabilizing force, really. You didn't really have right? Like today we have, even back then they ordered each other with society. Like you shun somebody, you don't say or do that because society doesn't accept it. That was there then too. But we have like different levers today. The levers today is like police. What else? The law. You can't lie, cheat, and steal in certain ways because you'll get jail time or penalties, etc. Back then, it was hard to catch people. I read about it. I was watching some videos, some smart historian, and it wasn't like you knew. You had to have really tough penalties like death, be put to death if you're a mere thief, partly because theft back then was way worse. You steal someone's horse, you're stealing someone's livelihood. And also, too, because back then you couldn't catch everybody. So you had to have really tough penalties so that the ones that you did catch and you made examples of them, the others would know, you know what, it's unlikely I get caught, but I really don't want to get caught because that's my life, that's my hands, that's something. I think about the role the church played in that. And getting back in the graces with the church sounds to me like, okay, I'm in this community and we really don't do much. I work, we go to church, we do this. And I haven't been going to mass and now they're shunning me. And I don't know, it's not just a matter of between me and God at that point anymore. It's a matter of how do I maintain my standing in the society and live and work and play just like a normal person? Well, I got to get back in the graces of the church. And that had a stabilizing force. Now, I'm just thinking out loud at this point. I don't really know that. But that doesn't sound like anything to do with God. Like, let me confess to this priest to get in the graces of the church. That's between y'all. That's y'all men. I already forgave you. I sent my son. This is God, obviously. I already forgave you. I sent my son. I know the reason you're doing all this crap is because you don't realize you're free. You don't realize the cage is already open and you just believe lies. Your emotions, your thoughts. You're already free. There's nothing to have to go and confess. Now, you do that one confession where you realize you're truly evil. And a lot of us say that we heard about that and we want that, but we're learning what that really means. It's deeper than we thought. But that being said, we're on that path, and it's like we're seeing that we don't need to go to confess to some priest. We don't need to do that. What can I say, folks? We spent plenty of time today. We had a nice long show. I had a lot of fun doing this with y'all. I hope you enjoyed yourselves today. I want to check these super chats and all that. I feel like we spent plenty of time. We done did the show, the topics, the calls, the super chats and everything. My lovely supporters who are all the ballers in this first class. Coming in strong. Dabble Jack. Don't forget Dabble Jack, who has been sitting in the Ballers Lounge with the best of them. Says, keep the ballers rolling, folks. Don't forget to like. I do appreciate that. Click the like button. Don't be rude. Show some decorum in the times of chaos. Don't be like one of those people out there who want to stab people and kill people. You're here with us in society. And in society, you say hello, you click the like button, and you don't be rude. Thanks for all the support. Subscribe, like, and all that. My lovely Rumble viewers, rumble.com/AmericanAnchorBaby. Punchy.tv/AnchorBaby. As always, an absolute pleasure. Take care. Enjoy your Friday. Enjoy your weekend. See you Sunday. And more beyond. More American Anchor Baby Monday and all that. Peace.